Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
You are now listening to the Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show.
Good morning. It's the Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show, broadcasting live from Facebook Live and YouTube. The number to call in, 516-900-2278. We are the Weekend Review Show. We do this every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. We have some of the usual suspects. Hello.
Yes. Wow, echoey in here.
Hello. So we have Crystal's on her way. She's stuck in traffic, but we have Bino in studio. Bino, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Let's go with you.
I'm doing well. My name is Preach. I'm welcome to do the show. I'm happy to let's get this thing started, man. How was your week? Well,
this shit is like our first.
I know the first time we ever used
the first year we were doing this. Yes.
When does Frank call in? That would be
wow. Yes,
that'd be really dope.
Yes, and JT. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Memories, absolutely. How was your week, man?
Yo, it was good. I can't complain. How was yours, man?
It was good. So it was Easter last week, so spent some time with the family. Kind of chilled back. Celebrated a guy raising
put the bunny ears on and all that.
No, didn't do that. No, did a little bit of egg chasing or whatever. But
egg chasing, you say?
Yeah, I went out to Philly. Mm-hmm. That was great. Saw some family. The city still stinks, but as a whole, was a good experience. And we just
a real friend would bring back a sandwich.
No, first of all, those sandwiches in Philadelphia are overrated. You could get just a chopped cheese in the corner store. Those are damn good as well. Those are just as damn
that is good, but it's not a Philly cheesesteak. Let's take it easy.
Are we going to compete a New York chopped cheese versus a Philly cheesesteak?
Again, I'm as New York as the damn Statue of Liberty and Empire State Building. Right. But Philly cheesesteak got it. I mean, it just is what it is.
I would have to. It depends on Well, I can no longer have those type of sandwiches anymore because now
you're vegan for the month.
I'm vegan for the month. Yes, it's gonna suck tremendously, but
ridiculous.
Yes, let's say good morning to the thread. Who's on the thread this beautiful morning?
Good morning, my brother Day. Good morning, Pamela.
Good morning,
the lovely Corinne. Good morning. Good morning, Denise Copper.
Good morning.
Yes. Carol Ross, of course.
Hello, Carol.
The homie Lewis with the sarcastic clapping. Good morning, Lewis.
He never disappoints.
And also, fuck you. Yes. Good morning. Yes. About time they got on here.
Damn.
It is 10:01. I ain't got time to waste.
But the funny thing is, man, we should be appreciative. I mean, people want to hear from us. People want our opinions. Like, I hate the hate mail that we get when we're not on and shit.
Bro.
God forbid. It'd
be bad to look at the DMs, when we're not on. Jesus.
Where the hell are you guys right now? But it's humbling, man, because we appreciate that.
We appreciate y'all.
It could be a whole lot worse.
Yes.
Nobody can give a crap about us.
So Crystal says she's downstairs now. Unfortunately, there's no one here to
open the door.
Unless you're going to talk amongst yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
So either somebody's going to have to walk outside the door or whatever, or she's going to have to wait.
You do it, and I get to know the audience in peace. Yes.
I know, right?
Hey, guys.
Get really intimate with them right now.
Yes.
So, so last week was Easter. A few things. Mm-hmm. So they're opening up a Sweet Chicks that you let me know about out in Long Island City. For those who don't know, Sweet Chicks is a restaurant owned by Nas and another gentleman. I forget the gentleman's name.
John Seymour.
Yes, thank you very much.
Irishman from what do you call it?
Yes,
from Brooklyn.
Yes. So there will be a new Sweet Chicks. Is opening this week or next week?
It's opening tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Day says something about he would invite us to church, but the way your radio show is set up, I think he's referring to all that profanity.
Well, we don't curse that much.
What you mean?
I mean,
be pressing a button left and right.
We only use profanity when we are reiterating something.
It's not gratuitous.
Yes, it's something that somebody else says. Not necessarily from our heart.
Give you full authenticity of the statement. And
absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely.
Speaking of profanity,
yes,
I'm sure that mouth downstairs. Open the damn door! Shit! I want to slay right now! God damn it!
We'll figure out a way to get her in. Oh, you know what? This is what I'll do. I'll send her the code to the door. And hopefully, I forget if it's pound first or...
Yes. Why don't you say the code over here, mister? Is it pound first?
And then we get and all our fans will rush through the door, and it's like LSG.
I'm curious. Yes, we're running around the studio. Yes.
Yes. So good morning to everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed their Easter. We are still waiting for Baby Hunter, the sequel, to come about.
We can't wait. Yes.
Yeah.
As our voice is on a thread.
Yeah. Oh man.
Voice.
Yes.
Voice says he's working today, and too busy for our shenanigans.
We miss him. I sat there. I was like, "Yo, oh wow, Voice is not gonna be here today.
Yes.
Like it's gonna be a little bit weird not having him. I sure as hell don't miss his smell.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, let's just be fair there.
Yes.
You know, his I don't know what his organic what was it? Lavoie?
Yes, that's what it's called. Yes. Yo, the guy has a fragrance named after himself. Can you imagine?
Lavoie.
Yes.
Yes. Good God bless
Ziggs,
him.
I don't know. Ziggs says, "Where the hell is everyone?" I don't know, Ziggs.
I don't know.
You know what? Today, Ziggs, you're the third host, okay?
No, you know who we should have.
He has dreads, too. He could fill right in.
But we should have called Trini Man.
No, I'm over him.
Really?
Yes, because, again, he doesn't bring the damn dog.
That's good,
Period.
bro.
Like
you gotta bring. Here she is.
Yeah.
Here she is, Miss Slay America. How you doing, Crystal?
I miss you guys.
It's been a week, but yes.
Yes.
Relax.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. How about we sit down? We're doing a show here. I gotta tell you, if people like, let's say execs were watching this,
Right.
they'd be like, "What the
The
hell?
most
is
unprofessional, yes.
the hell is going on with this damn show?" Crystal, how you doing? What did you do this? What did? I mean, you can't come in here and start destroying equipment and then expect everything to be like all tip-top shape for you. There's something called pre-production prep.
Correct.
All right.
Late.
Oh my! And then you're gonna mess up the kid. I mean,
Who told you to have the camera over there?
oh my God. So how was your?
guys.
Hello.
Hi.
How was your Easter weekend? What did you? Obviously,
I
did you?
worked.
You didn't go to church.
I did not. So, I know.
Yes.
I know.
Please.
Relax. I worked Saturday night from 11 to
Right.
4. Then I had to work 1 p.m. to 4 a.m. the Sunday. So I needed to sleep.
Okay.
Because if we had the radio station, I wouldn't have slept at all.
So you missed out on
I missed
Jesus
out on church.
Rising. Rising
You
from
know,
the
you
dead.
need to stop it.
No, that's what
You
it's
know,
just
when
all-
you
I'm-
really find
I'm-
out that there's a hell, I'm gonna pray for you. I pray for you all the time, but I'm gonna really pray for you and
Wow,
voice
wow.
extra.
Voice maybe, yeah. Voice
No,
makes-
he needs
yeah,
it.
but voice makes sense, but
Clearly, he needs
but I'm not the one that missed church. I went to church.
Which
church did you
was
go
this?
to?
Yes. The Latter-day Saints? Which one is this?
All right, let's start the top 5.
Okay, exactly.
Right.
Stories. I went to church. Oh, did you guys see before we get to the top 5? Did
Which
you see,
church did you go to?
But that's beyond the point. Did you see the cookies?
The land of make-believe.
Right.
Yes.
Did you guys see the cookies somebody made? So they made like Jesus hand cookies, but with like cherry and
To blood? Like,
yeah, cherry
I don't
gel
play
in the
these
middle.
games. I want nothing to do with these
Exactly.
cookies, B.
We
Please.
went to Catholic school.
Thank
What
you.
does
Like-
that mean?
That means we don't play these games.
right,
And
we
you
don't
went to
play-
Catholic school too with your black ass.
Right. We did the Stations of the Cross for
Absolutely.
how many weeks?
Absolutely, but let's be real. I mean,
I am being real.
This is the top 5
Let's
stories
do
of
that.
the week. Number 1.
let's just get to that. All right, so number 1. So you guys are familiar with Ted Nugent, heavy conservative musician, staunch Trump supporter. So he went out and accused the Parkland kids. You know, the kids who've been marching for March of Our Lives and so on and so forth, making all the speeches everywhere. And he essentially said these kids, this is the same man, mind you, who adopted a girl because he found her attractive, made himself her official guardian just so he could marry her. This is the same person here.
Are they still married to this day?
No, they separated a long time ago. He called them liars and soulless. He said on the Joe Pag Show, a nationally syndicated conservative radio program, he says all you'd have to do now is not only feel sorry for the liars, but you have to go against them and pray to God that the lies can be crushed and the lies can be silenced so that real measures can be put in place to actually save children's lives. This is him referring to the kids of the Parkland shooting. He says, these poor kids, I'm afraid to say this, and it hurts me to say this. Anytime you say that, it's going to hurt me to say this. It's going to suck to say this.
Right.
You
Like,
know,
no
it's-
offense, but offense.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. But he says, but the evidence is irrefutable. They have no soul.
Yo, you gotta love someone that's pissed off at people who've gone through something traumatic.
Yep,
And who want to do their best measure to not go through that again.
absolutely.
Right.
Like, what's the issue here?
I have no idea. I would
That's like
imagine.
getting mad at someone who burns their hand on the stove for wearing mittens or whatever, the oven mitts. Like,
Right.
Look at this guy.
Can I make a comparison? What if we said that about people who actually served in war?
Right.
What if these like there? What if I said PTSD is not a real thing?
Well, you can never disrespect.
Never just the military.
Never,
No, never disrespect the military.
Unless they're homeless and you're spitting on them when they ask for change.
Of
But other than
course,
that,
of
go ahead,
course,
yes.
of course. But what if I said, you know what, all the stories that these gentlemen tell of war stories and seeing friends getting killed and all the stories that we hear from veterans. What if one of us said that? Would you compare? I would compare the same trauma that these kids went through, the same as somebody on a war zone. Is that fair to say? I think nobody ever.
I think the kids are actually worse because you know you're going to a war zone.
You didn't practice for this.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. Like you've been trained for this. These kids were literally going.
Be careful when
Okay,
you say
turn to
this, 'cause
chapter
this-
3.
Now we're going that way. Now we're trying to attack the military. We got to be careful with this. But I'm sorry, continue.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, go to chapter 3. Kids, did you do your homework last night? And all of a sudden you
Bop,
hear a
bop, bop,
barrage
bop,
of
bop,
bullets. Right, exactly.
That's it. It's amazing. Like, why are? And he also continues. He says the lies from the left, the lies from these poor, mushy-brained children who have been fed lies and parrot the lies. They are actually committing spiritual suicide because everything they can recommend will cause more death and mayhem guaranteed.
What?
Like this is crazy. He says the dumbing down of America is manifested in the culture deprivation of our academia that have taught these kids the lies the media that have probed and encouraged and provided these kids lies. I really feel sorry for them because it's not only ignorant and dangerously stupid, but it's soulless. Why don't you just sit down and talk to one of these kids? Just tell them or ask them what they saw. Because I would imagine you seeing your friends on the ground killed, that's a pretty traumatic
Why
experience.
don't you just not comment?
Exactly.
Yo, but again, if you're a sane gun owner, you have nothing to worry about.
Right,
No one's
absolutely.
trying to. This whole notion that the boogie monster is going to come and take away your guns.
I think the
is
biggest
ridiculous.
fear is that they feel like the U.S. government is going to knock on every single one of their doors. They're going to bum rush their homes or their apartments, confiscate all their guns, and say, "Good day with you."
Yes, and then take their white woman. Like,
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. Relax.
Right.
Like, none of this shit is going to happen.
No, not at all. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
And by the way, if it would have happened, it would have happened already. Let's be honest with ourselves. So there was another shooting. We didn't need to have like another shooting like melody or a
No.
promo or something
Yes.
like that.
That sounds sensitive. Yes.
Right.
Because we've gotten desensitized to it because now it happens on the
fact.
regular. So there was another shooting out in the YouTube headquarters. Several people were injured. If you saw this woman was essentially she looked crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't even know she was a woman. To be quite honest with
I'm
you.
still, the verdict's still out on that. Yes, go ahead.
Exactly, but so here's her premise. I don't
It's
want
way
to.
too early for this.
Yeah, and I don't want to basically say her name because obviously, anytime you tell those names out, you kind of give validity to them. But her idea was she was upset about the way YouTube was running their censorship and kind of like refuting some of the things that YouTube was trying to, string out as far as videos are concerned.
Right.
They don't want much propaganda. They don't want much, you know what I mean?
Yo,
Like
she's literally showing like her more viewed video next to a lesser viewed video.
Yes.
But that's something to go get the strap over and go like, really?
Let's just be fair. And you got to understand, I think at that day was Hug a Muslim Day or something like that. And so ideally, when everybody...
Whoa. What day?
There was it was a day, I think it was Hug a Muslim or Acknowledge a Muslim Day. Something like that.
Well,
You know
why
what?
wasn't this all over social media for the rest of us to enjoy?
This was on Twitter. So I saw this on Twitter. I'm not really sure if it really caught...
Hug a Muslim Day.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
I wish somebody would try to hug Smalls that day. Like, that would just not work. Like,
Yes.
Get your hands off
Get
me.
destroyed by Muslim Day. Yes.
So anyway, obviously you know this. Once there's a shooting announced in a YouTube headquarters, it's like, who is it?
Right.
What is it? What's the propaganda?
Right.
What's the... So then obviously they find out her name, and then you can imagine all the... Oh yeah, she was a terrorist, and she was this, that, and the third, and she was Muslim. When in reality, the bitch was just crazy. Let's just be honest with ourselves. If you see the video that she's
You gotta see
premiered,
her face alone. Man.
Yes.
She looks.
And
good.
she was upset with YouTube, boy. Like, she was like... And I think she kept comparing, like, her videos to, like, Miley Cyrus. Like, no,
Right, because they should be mentioned in the same
like,
sentence. Yes.
no, that's not gonna work.
now how do we stop somebody like that from obtaining a gun?
Crazy enough, her family reported her.
Yes.
They reported her. This is the second time. Parkland shooting, they reported him too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where this goes. I don't know if the FBI be like, yeah, she's not gonna really do nothing. She got 23 subscribers on YouTube or something like.
Right.
You got to take these seriously.
I mean, but how can you tell if they're false alarms or, because remember, there was actually a story. So Julian Edelman, right? The wide receiver for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Apparently somebody had wrote on his Instagram, hey, some kid is going to just threaten to shoot up his school or whatever. Come to find out, they investigated it. They raided the kid's house and found 2 guns owned by his parents. And he was ready to, I guess they arrested him and put him in juvenile detention. But how do you know what's real and what's not? I think certain people are just crazy and they have crazy thoughts, but...
Exactly, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to act on their crazy thoughts.
Yo, you entertain that, especially nowadays. Like, you take it seriously until you realize it's not, period.
Right.
Like, you go and see what's good. That's that.
I'd rather them overcheck than undercheck.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, but then it comes to fine line of people complaining about government overreach, and now how far are they willing to go to find out if I'm just searching whatever I want to search on the internet, or I want to say whatever I want on a thread, or somebody might say something on our thread that we might deem as funny or not serious, but somebody else might see it and say that person needs to be investigated for whatever reason.
Yeah, but if you rather do that and find out there's no, cause
Right.
of
Right.
danger,
And know that you
then
can't
not.
say that, right?
Right.
Know that sometimes freedom of speech is not freedom of speech, and you need to really watch what you say.
All right, let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
So our favorite sport commentator, Jason Whitlock, has come out this week. So RG3 got signed. Okay, that for those who don't know, I think he was the second pick or first pick a few years ago. He was supposed to be this great player out of Baylor. Unfortunately, didn't really pan out with the Redskins. Anyway, he ended up getting a job with the Ravens. So obviously,
he's been out the league a year.
About a year.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been out the league about a year. Let me mind you, no Super Bowls. Probably had one good season, not great season, one good season.
One playoff appearance.
One playoff
and
appearance.
Yes.
Fine. And then we go back to Colin Kaepernick. So obviously, when they see your RG3 is signed, we start asking the question, why not Colin Kaepernick?
I feel like we never stop asking that question.
Well,
though.
I think we know why. Let's not kid ourselves. So, and then there's also been the talk of Johnny Manziel, who has been having trouble with drinking, missing curfews, not taking football serious.
He's a druggie.
Yes,
All
this
that
was
good
the
stuff.
same person. It's funny to me when they ask, well, is Kaepernick really in a football mind state? Where, mind you, Johnny Manziel he was nowhere near the football mind state. He just wanted to go to the bar and party with Drake. So now Jason Whitlock says Johnny Manziel is somebody who Colin Kaepernick should look up to now.
Wow.
Manziel's a good role model for Colin Kaepernick. The things that he's doing are the type of things Kaepernick should be doing.
Let me run that back. Let me run that back.
Manziel's a good role model for Colin Kaepernick. The things that he's doing are the type
love
Pause
the
it a
laugh.
second. You hear the white guy laughing?
It's not a white guy, but it's so.
Took a team to the Super Bowl, who is a veteran quarterback. It should be doing the same things that a guy who has 2 NFL wins. Johnny Football has as many NFL victories as he does trips to rehab. 2. That's it. Whitlock, come on. In no way, shape, or form does Kaepernick need to do this.
There's a very popular saying, get in where you fit in. And so there was a time
Where does he
when
fit?
Colin Kaepernick was a Super Bowl competing quarterback. That time has passed. Now he's a guy that's on the outs in the NFL, and people are questioning how important football is.
But they're not
to him.
questioning his skill, his love for the game. He just needs to display that he loves football, right?
And
Not that he has skill. Johnny Football hasn't proven he's got the skill.
Let me tell you how you know you love the game. When you're willing to humble yourself and show up at a pro day.
A 30-year-old quarterback gonna go to a pro day?
Yeah. And look, and Johnny Manziel also said, I'm willing to go to Canada.
Good, go to Canada.
I'm willing to go to CFL. Hear these types of things out of Colin Kaepernick, and people's ears perk. Oh, this guy, football is
He's
what's most
established.
important.
Okay, so if Kaepernick called every team and said, hey, I'm putting on a private workout right now for 31
Nobody's
people,
showing up.
Private workout.
You don't
No.
think that's going to cut it?
No, because he can't do a private. No one's showing up to that.
Oh.
Exactly. Okay, wait, then what is your point? You're just proving our point.
Zig says Godfather Coon is back at it. Yes, Bino. Ziggs actually sent me the video, the same video here.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely ridiculous.
This idea, I mean, it's just obvious. Now I get it. Now, he's probably not going to get signed, and for one reason and one reason only. I think we know the other reason, but they're going to use this reason. He's suing the NFL, and I've only seen somebody sue the team that they work for and still play for them?
That would be Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez.
Yes,
He
the Yankees,
sued the
yes.
Yankees, but was still playing for the Yankees.
To be fair, the Yankees were still paying him $30 million a year.
Exactly.
How do you sue somebody and still get paid $30 million a year? Like, good morning.
Right.
Training day.
I'll see you in court tomorrow, right?
You just make sure that check's in by Friday.
But the idea that, Colin Kaepernick, you have to question whether he's all about football and if he has the skills or not. I think it's just obvious that we understand, like, he's being blackballed.
I would love to trade places with them. Like, you realize these people are pissed off because someone is not kneeling for a symbol.
Yeah, and I also have a problem with that now.
I would love to trade issues. I told a friend of mine who's big on that, you see all the anger in his eyes and Colin Kaepernick. I said, whoa.
Right.
Try being killed continuously and the court and the legal system letting you get away with it.
Right.
Then we'll talk about anger.
Right.
There's a flag y'all pissed off about. Give a fuck about your flag.
Right.
People are dying and y'all ignoring that.
Right. I mean, and the most disappointing thing is, and I'm going to have to call out the NFL players too, because a lot of them are now saying they're going to now stand up for the flag.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like...
Oh, God, it was a trend. I can't.
Not just that. It's just like...
No, it's that they buckled in.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm kind of like...
Which to me is a trend. You stayed for a little while and then you're like, I can't take it no more. Like, no.
Yo, it's like you ever see those sitcoms where like people chain themselves to a building or lock themselves in a building, and then by the time the cops come and they start with the bullhorn, you guys better get the fuck out of there or else blah, blah, blah. People, shit, man, I got.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. You know, it's unfortunate.
Until you feel the heat, then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I really didn't mean it.
So looking back at it, was it all for nothing? Because think about it.
I don't think it's for nothing. I still think
I kind of feel like they should have kept, not necessarily kept with it, but this whole idea that, okay, well, they accepted money from the owners as this like help the community fund or whatever. I don't think that was enough.
To me, it's not over. It's not going to be like, okay, we'll never speak about a social incident again because we know we'll piss the owners off. I think this is just the beginning.
And even the Texas owner came out this week and said, I regret apologizing for my statements. Remember when he said, we can't let the inmates control the asylum. Now he says, I wish I never apologized for that. I wish I never said it, but I didn't mean it.
And again, last season alone for the NFL was disastrous.
Right.
Like yo, trust me, it's not over.
Yeah, but imagine Muhammad Ali buckling in, like after a while, and saying, you know what, all right, I'll go to the draft. All right.
I know, right? But again, Ali and even Jim Brown, besides the wife beating, hey, fabulous. We'll talk about you later.
Right.
Besides that, they were down for the cause for real.
Absolutely.
Like, these kids today.
Then it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. It's the fake wokeness, man.
Yeah, it's fake.
Let's get to number 4.
Number 4.
So then this new Roseanne show. I don't know if you guys watched it.
No.
It has actually been getting great ratings. Our president actually called Roseanne to congratulate her and say she's doing great as far as the ratings are concerned. I mean, it's weird though. So there was this photo shoot that Roseanne had done where she was depicting herself as Hitler and putting people in the oven.
But it was for a Jewish magazine, ironically. It's a Jewish satire magazine.
Right. I'm just wondering, remember what Kathy Griffin did? With the whole Trump head and decapitated head or so on, and she got killed for it, lost gigs, lost the CNN gig, whatever. This woman gets her whole reboot back. Let's go back even further. This is the same woman who, during singing the national anthem,
was holding her crotch and shit.
Holding her crotch and spit on the floor, being booed.
But now that she's, given conservative views, it is what it is. And also, you got to understand something. She's not going to be held to the same fire because Democrats and liberals don't have the same passion about that kind of shit.
Right.
Like, they just don't.
Right.
You say anything that upsets conservatives, they'll bitch all day.
Yeah.
Because half of them are in their trailer parks without jobs.
Absolutely, right.
So, with that being said, they ain't got nothing better to do than to bitch and whine. Democrats, liberals, they don't hold people the same accountability. They don't.
I don't think there's like a moral. I don't think we don't hold people to a moral compass as far as like we understand people make mistakes and they can come back from it. And I think, but once you, like you said, if you attack conservatism, the American flag or the military or even dare to even question it, you're the devil and you should be removed altogether. It's just amazing to me how she got a show after that. She gets another show after doing something similar, and everything is all fine because she's a Trump supporter.
I was ready to watch it too, man. I'll bust my gun for the father. I love Dan O'Connor. I love that character, but like when she started talking a little too crazy, I got turned off.
And apparently the show is really good. Like it covers everything as far as social issues. It's just as conservative.
Maya B says she'd rather watch paint dry than Roseanne.
I have to agree with you on that one.
You never liked the original Roseanne?
I did like the original Roseanne,
I did too.
but I think that hearing the new Roseanne and she's a Trump supporter, but like I don't like Trump on a regular day. I don't want to watch a show that like, you know what I'm saying, like that.
To be fair, I don't think so on the show, obviously, she is a Trump supporter, but the rest of her family is more of like an all-in-the-family type of situation where, remember, Archie Bunker was the racist dad, but everybody else was liberal, and you know what I'm saying? So
see, here's the thing. When you go through that, it's kind of tough to watch. All right, for example, you mentioned All in the Family.
Right.
So my grandmother from my father's side is from Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
Born in like the 1910s and shit.
Right.
We couldn't watch All in the Family in front of her.
Oh,
because
right.
she lived that.
Yeah,
and
she
so
lived
like
that, yeah.
racism ain't funny if you being chased by white men. You understand what I'm saying? So
that's very true.
So like what she's saying, if you going through this Trump shit now and it offends you, you ain't trying to see the softer side of it on ABC.
Of course.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
and give them ratings, like haha, like.
Right.
But and that's what they're saying. They're saying the show normalizes Trump supporters.
Right.
So as anything you watch over and over again, you become desensitized.
Right.
So the racist rhetoric maybe isn't so bad if you can laugh at it. You know, you hear a joke and have a laugh track behind it. Same thing.
All right, let's get to number 5. So Cardi B's album has been released. Was on release Friday. A lot of good reviews. A lot of people are excited about it.
Very shocked.
I listened to the whole thing.
And
I'm very surprised.
Okay.
There's a lot of tracks that I really like.
What do you think about this whole Cardi B?
I remember Cardi. I'm from the club world. I remember Cardi as a stripper. I remember her coming out to the club. I remember the braids Cardi. I remember before she got her teeth done. And to see the evolution of Cardi is an amazing thing. No matter, I don't care if you think she can't rap. I don't care if you think she's ghetto. There's not a lot of people that can come from the gutter like she did to hosting SNL within a matter of 3 years.
Right.
It's just not happening.
And perseverance. There's a lot of perseverance.
And then to listen to the album and you like, oh, this is not half bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Not a bad album.
By far, and I think the fact that it's not half bad made it really good because you were not expecting that. You see what I'm saying? So it's even better because you were not expecting the album to be this good.
Right.
Charles says, I'm proud of her movement. Zig says it was good, but I took it to Brooklyn and brought the new Flatbush Zombies.
Yeah.
So Zig's backpack, whatever. But point is, I don't know. I haven't heard it yet. I need to. I'll give it a listen.
I think it's more about supporting. Listen, I think it's
more
the
about
album,
supporting the culture.
Yeah, I think it's more about supporting her as opposed to just the music.
True.
Just because, like she had mentioned, her whole grind and her whole evolution is very rare. And then I think the appeal of Cardi B is that she's a girl like a lot of girls in New York City. And the simple fact that she made it.
Rendezvous, yes.
Yeah, like the girls that, came from nothing, did whatever they had to do to make money, may not necessarily have liked it, but she still did it, and, used different avenues. Mind you, this is going to inspire a lot of people to go the love and hip hop route now. You know
right, because before that used to be where acts went to die. Now it's like where they go to flourish and send their music out. But before then, she already had about 2 million followers.
Yeah.
Like, Love and Hip Hop is not what made her. Love and Hip, it's kind of solidified Love and Hip Hop because you wanted to see more of her and not just 60-second snippets on Instagram.
Right.
So I feel like she brought up Love and Hip Hop. It didn't really help her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because now they're vying to get her wedding. They premiered her video. She literally did one season. The second season, she cursed them out to say that that's not what it really was, and they still love her.
Being that Cardi B's album is out, we are more of the older school people.
Absolutely.
But who now are you listening to? Like, I don't necessarily listen to Cardi B. Like,
I don't necessarily listen to her either, but I bought it to support. But I don't know. Like, I'm more into R&B right now, but that Drake record that dropped.
Yeah, Drake record's dope.
It's hard. Like,
which one? The shit you was playing?
It's hard. I mean, aside from the fact that he used a sample for one of my favorite songs ever.
But Drake has figured out his pocket.
Oh, God. When I heard it, I thought he was.
Thank you very much. Because you knew what it was. Right. But yeah, so I think Drake, I feel like since 2009, he really can't lose. And he's not losing because, like you said, he knows his pocket. Like, I mean, he was Jamaican for a couple of years and whatever else.
Yeah,
now he's from New
Like-
Orleans. But I get it and I respect it because since it dropped, I haven't stopped listening to it. I was bumping it on the way here.
Yeah, no, it's a dope record. What was it called again?
It's called Nice for What.
Nice for What, right? And the video's dope. It has all these prominent women.
Dope.
But here's another problem I have with the fake wokeness. So getting back to Cardi B and Drake, so people were complaining that Drake was taking the shine away from Cardi B because he has a thing against black women having a day or having her moment.
He just made a song about black women.
But it's like this fake wokeness has got to stop.
Yeah.
And another thing was, find a woman in the video who has parents that aren't biracial, because every woman in the
Issa Rae. Like what? Like why do people always why are people reaching?
It's fake wokeness,
I feel like
man.
the fake wokeness, even like stop. Just enjoy the song because you want to bump it when nobody's around. Like don't do that.
It is what it is. All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Call us up 516-900-2278. Once again, good morning to the thread. When we get back, we're going to talk about this Brooklyn shooting because we've had instances like this a lot, unfortunately, but we may have a different view on this one. All right. I mean, wasn't an understandable shooting. We'll get to that. Sunday morning breakfast. We'll be right back.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up? Just like that?
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. Start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
This is the top 5 stories of the
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey! The dreaded splash fight. It's Dad O'Clock, and it's the best time of the day. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Today, my new dad threw a barbecue.
Today, my new son and I threw a barbecue.
There were burgers and chicken.
I burnt everything. The burgers, the chicken, the salad.
They were delicious.
They were awful.
And then we had watermelon.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
And then we played catch.
I broke Mr. Lewis's window, Mrs. Wakeham's window, Mrs. Wakeham's windshield. And then, somehow, my hand. My hand!
And then my dad even let me drive his car.
The hospital's on the right! It was a rough day.
It was a great day.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health.
The apps?
Yeah.
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Call us up 516-900-2278. You want to give a quick review of this, the headphones? Because a lot of people, like, we've seen these headphones, and I was a little skeptical about it. The AirPods.
Oh, the AirPods?
The
Yeah,
AirPods.
I love them. I was just showing the guys that I got the new AirPods, and they don't fall out your ear. Like, people are like, oh my God, like, I'm scared to lose them. And then the actual case that they come in charges them. So once you put them back, they're fully charged. And
But you have to charge
the
the case, though.
Yeah, but you don't have to charge the case often.
Okay.
And then mine's came with like an extra silicone case that you can like put onto your like keys.
Right.
So every time I take them off, I just put them in there. But I'm obsessed with them. They're so loud. The clarity is amazing.
Really?
It's amazing.
Wow. I mean, I know a lot of people were skeptical about it. Like, you know, what if they fall out and then you lose it?
No,
or
never.
whatever?
Oh,
That's-
and I was
that's
telling
my
them
thing.
too, like if it feels like they're gonna get loose in the air,
Mm.
they'll actually go off.
Oh, really?
So you'll
Oh, so
you'll hear
know.
you'll know when it gets loose because it'll stop playing.
The only problem I have with these new devices is that you have to charge everything. So I recently got a Apple Watch. But I don't I hate I have to charge it. Like I hate I have to take it off and charge it.
But you know what? I know, right? But I'm an Apple addict. Like everything I have is from Apple. But I feel like even with charging it, aside from the watch, everything is the same charger.
Yeah. No.
So
well,
I don't-
yeah. This one is so I don't know.
That's
if
what I'm saying. This one is not the same
Right,
charger.
right.
Like that's the only thing. But the AirPods are the same charge. The phone, the iPad, and the only thing different is the computer.
Right. All right. So, unfortunately, there was a police shooting in Brooklyn this past Wednesday. So, a gentleman by the name of Saheed Vassell, who was 34 years old, he was walking around with it looked like, I don't know what it was, something from like a radiator or something, a pipe or something like that, and he was pointing it at people around the neighborhood, and it was around Crown Heights, and I guess there were
I actually passed it yesterday.
Oh, really? There were numerous calls from 911 saying that they believe somebody has a gun and they're bothering people in the streets and so on and so forth. And so, you know, the video's been released. We'll play the video right now. And a lot of people are saying, well, you know, this was wrong because apparently the cops just came, NYPD came. There was no identification. There was nothing said. They just got out their car and just began shooting Saheed. Some are saying it's warranted because if you see the video, which let me pull up now, if you see the video, you obviously, he's pointing the pipe like it is a gun. Like it looks very awkward and very, very suspicious. So here he is. Right. Come on.
What is? Listen. Go ahead.
But here's the thing, all right? Apparently, around the neighborhood, he was very well known. Here's another situation.
With a little kid. Look at that.
And that was the moment where they proceeded to shoot him.
Where he's pointing the gun.
Yes, at them. Yeah.
Said gun, right? So
Said
this
gun,
is
right.
right. This is my issue. So I actually had a discussion with my boyfriend about this, and I said to him, the aunts keep saying, the aunt or somebody in his family, like, listen, he was well known. Evidently, he wasn't that well known. There were over 3 calls to 911 saying this man is brandishing a gun. So stop saying that he was well known, because those 3 people who were not well known did not know that, and they fear for their life. Somebody's walking with a little kid and he's using the weapon like it is a gun.
Even if he didn't have something in his hand.
Right.
If you're a child with
Right.
your mother and someone runs up on you that you don't know in any sort of weird way, shape, or form, there's an element of danger there.
Right.
Now, not saying if the cops didn't tell him to drop his weapon or whatever, if they just got out the car and reacted, not saying that they're right. But with this situation, you can see how the cops were there in the first place and how it could be mistaken. These clips we saw just now, not knowing it wasn't a pipe, you looking at him holding it, you think, oh shit, this dude's putting a gun at people.
Right. But
And he's doing it with conviction. You see what I'm saying to you? Like,
But
that is scary.
Here's the thing, and here's a part of the argument a lot of people have been saying with this whole situation. So they're kind of saying it's one of the results of gentrification. Reason being is, okay, and we were talking about this off air. There are certain people in neighborhoods where you know everybody. You know who walks around. You know the crazies. You know, apparently he was bipolar. He was having some mental issues, and he was well known around the neighborhood. And so I think in a few of those clips, some of the people didn't react like, oh my God, I'm being stuck up. It was more like, yo, stop playing around, like move.
And I'm sure that those are the people that did not call the cops.
Of course. So then, but here's the argument. Some are saying the people who are going into these neighborhoods, mainly white people who are going into these neighborhoods who don't get familiar with the neighborhoods. They see something like that, and they don't know that he's well known around the neighborhood.
Respectfully so, cut the crap. Homeboy's running around here acting like what he has in his hand is a gun.
And we don't know that the 3 people, or the 3 calls that made, we don't know that they were white people.
Exactly.
You're right.
And on top of
Right.
that, if
Absolutely
you
right.
know your family member has mental issues and you're taking care of him,
Keep
you
your
have to
eye.
make sure you have to keep an eye on him. You have to make sure he's properly medicated. Because let me tell you something, in a lot of black and West Indian households, black households, African American households, people think you need prayer for mental health. You need medication.
Crazy, and they giving you Vicks.
Right. They telling you, come here. Let me get
Right.
let me put some Florida water on you. That doesn't solve everything. These people are mentally ill and they need the proper treatment. Evidently, he was not treated properly and he was not watched properly. I'm not blaming this on anybody, but this is something to say, listen, you have to learn a lesson from this. Mental illness is very serious.
No, I agree with you. My only issue with this is how are they not able to de-escalate a situation? I get it. He looks like he's pointing a gun.
Right.
Yet you have another individual who clearly has killed people already, and you're still able to capture him alive.
But the whole gentrification thing you just brought up, this isn't a bodega cat. You understand what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
This isn't something.
The manager of the store,
Yeah, this is
sit
some
on top of
bullshit.
the bread.
Exactly. This is. Regardless of what neighborhood you live in, you should be able to walk there without some crazy motherfucker pointing something at you and running up on you, period. So that alone is going to warrant the cops being called.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So now the cops get there and whatever happens after that, that's one thing. But the cops being there in the first place.
No, I'm not saying the cops being there is
such a
wrong.
legitimate thing. Now, whether or not they could have handled it differently
is another
that's
story.
debatable.
Right.
And I totally get that. Did they have to kill him? Probably not.
Right.
But again, whoever had him out there like this also needs to take responsibility. The aunt on TV crying and all this other shit.
So do you
Where
think,
were you?
Beloved.
So you think do you think the
Thank you,
protests
Tony.
that are going? Oh Lord. Do you think the protests that are going on in Brooklyn for this man is it not warranted?
You couldn't invite me to the protest.
Right.
I'm sorry. Like at the end of the day, and again, I'm all about my people.
Right,
We
absolutely.
know this. I'm
Right.
all about my black
Right.
people. But like again, you cannot also be wrong and expect for this not to happen. Like there's certain things we don't do normally just because we don't want to be bothered by the cops.
Of course, yeah, right. Just running is
Right, exactly. Now another thing is people are saying what I do agree with is I feel like there should have been some type of warning shot. Like shoot him in the arm, shoot him in the leg. Like I don't know how many shots were fired. People saying it's an excessive amount. I didn't really listen to that
I
part
heard
of the
10.
story.
Right.
10 is too much.
Yeah, you're trying to kill him, yeah.
Right, you're trying to kill him. My whole thing is you have to know about warning shots. But these people who called the cops did not know this neighborhood person. Like, it's not okay.
I'm just looking at the reaction of some of the people in the video, and to me, it didn't look like they were startled or more or less felt like, because in this story it says many of Vancel's family members, and rightfully so, where were they at? Why was he out in the street like this? They told reporters he was bipolar and was well known to the area's police and shopkeepers.
Evidently not.
And one of whom described the mentally ill man as harmless.
All right, so McDanny Jordan says, okay, granted, however, we have killers who aren't said to be mentally unstable until killing several people and are taken into custody alive.
And that's the argument I have. I agree with everything you guys have said so far. I just feel like, for me, I can't expect to have NYPD be perfect marksman. Like we don't know that, especially when adrenaline's pumping, you're answering a call, everything's happening so fast, and right off the top of their head, all right, I'm gonna shoot his big toe just so I can get him down on the ground. I think that's unrealistic, but we also have to understand we've seen evidence of situations like this being de-escalated many a times, and then you ask yourself, well, why didn't they use any of those methods with this case?
Now, if this is right before the cop shot, right?
Yeah,
This still picture right here. It looks like he's about to shoot them.
Right, and mind you,
if I was a cop, like Carol just said, if I was a cop, I would probably shoot too. Look at his stance.
No, you're right. I get it.
He looks like he's every person that he tried to poke at, it looks like he was ready to shoot them. I'm sorry, I feel bad for the family.
You don't have to have this stance right here to get shot by the cops. So let alone having this stance.
With something silver in your hand.
Now, granted, he's not wrapped tight, but that's why you don't have him in that situation in the first place. Period.
Look. What does that look like to you?
You walking with your girl and your kids,
of course,
and this type of stupid shit happens.
Right, of course.
Can we at least bet that a confrontation would take place?
Of course, but no. Well, you know what? I don't know because, like I said, neighborhood.
If you don't know him, then.
Look at that.
If I don't know him, right? I would probably.
And even if you know him, you blocking him like, yo, stop playing. What are you doing?
Right. Look.
But that's my thing. Like we've had people in my neighborhood. And I was telling you this story a while back. We knew a guy by the name of Boo Boo. He had mental issues. He had gotten
Boo Boo,
hit.
you say?
Yeah, he had gotten hit in the head, and we knew him as he has his Boo Boo. He just acts crazy. He walks up.
What was his name?
Boo Boo. Yeah, don't ask me what. When I moved there, they talk. That's the thing. The neighborhood tells you who's who and what to look out for, and so on and so forth. And all he would do, he would walk up and down the block. He would mess with people. He would go into the barbershop and sweep the barbershop. Everybody knew him around the hood. So when Boo was playing around, everybody in the neighborhood knows that. Mm-hmm. But then when you have newcomers coming into that same neighborhood, they don't know that, especially if they're not trying to understand that.
But
hold on, let me take this call. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up?
What's going on?
Yo, no matter what we talk about, you need to die laughing. The world ended. This is Charlie,
and I did it. Yes. What's going on, Charles?
I just wanted to chime in. All right, Preach, honestly, man, I have to disagree with you, brother.
Okay.
It doesn't have nothing to do with gentrification.
I'm not. No, let me interrupt you there. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm telling you what the reaction from certain people in the neighborhood are saying about gentrification, and that being part of the problem on why a lot of the people who called 911 called it on him.
But still, here's the thing. Homeboy looked like he had a gun in the first place. Now, did the cops have to kill him 10? I was looking on the thread. They said they shot him 10 times. Mm-hmm. Nah, that was kind of out of crazy.
Excessive, right?
But here's the thing: if I'm walking, and if he was to walk up on me and my kid, I'd probably shoot him.
Right.
And all it takes is one shot. Depends on where you shoot the person. So eventually, if he would have walked up on the wrong person and got it, you can't listen, man. And the aunt crying and shit, I don't feel sorry for you, auntie.
So,
if you listen.
No, so let me interrupt you there because I'm gonna keep you on the line. This is what people are saying in the neighborhood. Okay, so a stylist at Glamorous Beauty Salon who was across the street from where this took place, she told the Post. Vassell was known to be mentally ill. The young man often wandered the block and would regularly help push the shutters for the shop in the morning for a small tip. Everybody knows him, and everybody knows he's sick. I guess I understand when the police said they thought it was a gun, just like everybody thought it was a gun. It's really sad. Now, nobody's disputing the fact that, yes, it was perceived that he had a gun, the way he was holding the thing. I think but here's another thing. A lot of people in the neighborhood are saying that not only did the people around that neighborhood know him, but the police knew him as well. That's what people are getting confused about.
Not every policeman.
But if you know him, but here's the thing: if you know him, right, and you know he's 730,
right,
and you think he has something in his hand and he's pointing it at you,
right, fair.
Then what do you do?
You don't know what you want to do. You don't know what's going to go on, right?
I'm not going to lose my life because y'all going to march against me.
It's John Fuller, who's there, says every cop in this neighborhood knows him.
Evidently, that is. I'm not saying. I'm assuming that these cops did not know him, and also people go, "Oh, I know him. He's just crazy." But how do you know the day that he really flips?
So let me ask you this question, because this is what his aunt says, and you're saying, I agree with you. I think the aunt should have done him a little bit more. Whoever is watching him should have been watching him, right? But she does ask this question. I'll ask you guys the same question. I'll leave you on the line, Charles. It's a piece of iron. This is what she says. It's a piece of iron, and they kill him for a piece of iron. I bet if he was a white kid, they wouldn't fire a shot at him like that. Do you agree?
We know this.
Oh, okay. All right.
We know this.
Then what are we arguing about?
We said it was excessive.
I don't believe that. If you're a white kid and you're walking around and you pointing something at somebody,
I disagree.
I think they still get you.
Somebody would have got him.
I'm sorry. I think they still get you.
I think that if he was a white kid, they would have shot him, but it would have been a warning shot.
I don't think he gets shot.
I think it'd have been less of a chance. Yes.
Right.
Maybe we can all agree.
Right.
They'd have tried to temple him first, but at the end of the day,
I disagree. I think they find a way to de-escalate. I'm dead serious. This is Crown Heights.
But my whole thing is, if everybody knew him, I doubt this would have happened. Like, hey, whatever I can't remember his name at this time, but hey, so and so, did you take your meds? You want to drop what you got? They didn't react to him like they knew him.
Go ahead, Charles. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay, perfect example. I know DMX, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm walking around in Yonkers and he walks up on me on a leather pipe, I'm not with a pipe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say, "Oh, he must have got hot." You know, no.
Come on.
Come on, he's getting blasted.
Charles.
Like you can't, because you're gonna.
Okay, Styles P.
But no, but you think. But here's the thing: your first reaction, you're gonna think he has a gun. You're gonna defend yourself. That's all I'm saying.
But there was no reports of any shots being made, though.
Bruh.
Was there
That's what I'm
reports of
saying.
someone brandishing a gun?
That was the report.
That was the report that he was brandishing a gun.
was the
He had
report.
no. That they thought it was a gun. They never said it was a gun. It was perceived to look like a gun.
Okay, but if you look in the video, what's it look like to you?
No, I agree with you.
And
It does
how's
look
he
like a
followed
gun.
up?
It does look like a gun.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So, I'm sorry, my condolences, and God bless the dead. But this is it, man.
All right, man.
It is what it is.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, man.
Let me read
Appreciate
these
it, bro.
comments. So Ricardo says more reason for his family to better protect him. Antoine says, "Show me any." Got the any all and caps and shit. He means that any shit. Video of cops killing a white kid with or without a weapon. I'll wait.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the question that the aunt asked, you have to think about as well, because and this is my personal little opinion. I think if this was because it's Crown Heights, so there's the black kids or black people, and then there's the Jews, right?
Yes.
If this was a mentally unstable Jewish kid going around doing the same thing that this guy was, do you think about this?
Funny enough.
Do you think they first of all, and this is witness accounts,
Right.
they say they just hopped out of the car. It's almost like they did a hit. They didn't say please. They didn't say put your hands up. Nothing. They just got out the car and shot him. Do you think that's the same instance they do with, let's say, a Jewish kid in that neighborhood?
No.
Right, and funny enough, that is one of the only neighborhoods where the Hasidic Jew police themselves. You guys do know that, right? They have their own police force, so they handle things very differently.
Plenty of Hasidic neighborhoods have that.
Right, but I'm saying
in here in New York.
That's one of the biggest. The Hasidic Jewish community in New York is one of the biggest in the world.
Absolutely.
So they police themselves. So I'm assuming that it would automatically be different anyway, because they go on a whole different system. But this case right here, no one can make me feel any different. Do I feel like it is tragic? Yes. Do I feel like they should have fired a warning shot? Yes. Do I feel like they should have shot him? Unfortunately,
I think people are saying 10 times at that.
Yeah, again, we all agree that was excessive and all that. But again, for all these reasons that you're stating, which is why your crazy ass cousin shouldn't be walking the streets alone in the first place.
Right.
Period. Keep some sort of eye on him. Whoever. If the whole community knows him, then take time to walk him to and from home, or whatever the case may be.
Right. I mean, like I said,
don't love him now, because he's no longer here. You understand what I'm saying? Love him while he's here and protect him while he's here. Period. That's what it is.
What's that?
Beloved.
Beloved.
Chill.
Quick, stop.
Let's clear
it
out. Let's get it out. No, but that's a great point.
Right.
That's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, where were you when he was? And my thing is, but these were you supposed to have him cooped up in the house, or you always supposed to monitor? Because some of them.
No.
Here's my thing. Okay, mentally ill people want to be treated just as normal as regular people. And sometimes,
that's
some
not
people
gonna
don't even
happen.
come to grips with the fact that they're mentally ill.
But I get what you're saying. But my whole thing is treating them like everyone else means properly treating them. Because if your friend is having a bad day, you're not going to treat them like a friend is having a good day. You need to know how to properly treat people. So if you're mentally ill and you wanted to be treated normal, know that your normal life is taking medication, seeing a doctor often. He was clearly having an episode, which means he was not medicated the correct way.
Right.
So you weren't treating him like a regular person because they didn't do what they needed to do for him.
I mean, and this is
get on TV and blame everybody else.
Right, but this is an easy one where I could say this wholeheartedly. I don't think anything will happen to the police officers
cops will
involved.
beat this case
please. This is not.
They'll be in the courtroom shooting jump shots. Exactly.
See you later.
The cops will destroy this case.
And we're not
easily.
laughing in the fact that somebody lost their life.
What? They're gonna beat this case. Don't waste your time.
We're being realistic here. This is.
I don't know what y'all marching for.
This is an open and shut
Please.
case. Like this, nothing's gonna happen to these police officers whatsoever.
What
Not at
Ricardo
all.
is saying is true. We got to be smart and protect ourselves better, period. It
Mhm.
sucks that it is this way, but it is this way. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's the exact point I was making. If you want to be treated regular, you have to treat this person properly. However properly means for them. Stop saying, oh, well, you know what? He's crazy, but I don't want to give him this medication because it makes him itch. Well, go find a new one that doesn't have side effects and treat him properly.
I think the most heinous thing we found out this week as well is the whole shooting at Sacramento, where they did the autopsy and come to find out that with these, how many shots was it, 20 shots? And eight of them were in the back.
Oh,
that one is a
who's
lot
shocked
more.
at this table?
No, I mean,
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. But I think that goes to the argument as well that we're talking about. We can't ignore the fact that we just all admitted if this was a white kid or a Jewish kid or whatever that was doing the same thing, that we don't think nothing would happen to him. Now, what is the real problem? Him being mentally ill or that? What's the bigger issue?
The bigger issue
I'm
is
just saying.
the bigger issue is we as black people know that we do not get treated fairly. That's not something that anyone needs to tell us. We wake up every day knowing that. We wake up every day with a target on our back.
Which is why you don't put yourself or your loved ones in that kind of danger.
Because you already know
What time it is.
what time it is. Exactly. Beloved.
Thank you, Queen.
I mean, can we? No, I'm not even gonna say it.
Hater beloved, don't start your
I'm not even
shit.
starting
Okay?
it.
Don't
All
you
right,
dare.
Sunday
Big
morning.
Danny, I
Brooklyn.
don't know which one doesn't have side effects. That's why I'm saying find a new one if it does have side effects that don't bother you.
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom, but a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be, and just what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and, even for me, ways to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics that got me started, but also information about the hurdles I was facing in this new role. I could even connect with experts and hear from others who had been in my place. I know this road we're on isn't an easy one, but I'm really happy to have the extra help for her and for me.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. This message is brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes, another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger, 2 if you're very overweight, and 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio prediabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. so you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
All right, I think this is what pisses people off as well. I mean, like, so you have stories like the one we just discussed, and then you have other stories like this. So you guys remember the affluenza kid who was a drunk driver and ended up killing 4 people, but because he was what was the word? Being that he grew up with money, it was more of a detriment to his psyche, essentially.
Yes.
So he was released from prison today. So he gets to go home and live his life. And
while people are in in coffins.
Right. This is now technically, I guess, this kid is also a mentally ill person as well, but he gets the benefit of the doubt. I think that's what's frustrating to a lot of people.
He's definitely not mentally ill, by the way. But yes,
yeah. Ethan Couch was the trial for killing 4 people while driving drunk sparked widespread conversation about the privilege of being raised wealthy. Was released from a Texas jail on Monday after 2 years. He became the affluenza kid during his trial. That growing up with money might have left him psychological afflictions.
Poor kid, huh?
I know, right? I wish. Too rich to tell if from right from wrong.
But that's like Hulk Hogan's son. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where he was.
What happened with
he had a car accident, so he killed somebody.
I don't think the guy died. The guy is like a vegetable. Like has like lost like 40% of his brain or something.
Right.
Like he's in a home.
Right.
But my whole thing is, it became he's just so distraught because his friend, he was being ignorant. Like he was speeding. He was doing that wasn't the first time that he had trouble with the law and speeding and all these issues. And it was just like, we're just so sad and we're hurt because he's hurt because of his his friend is a vegetable and he's walking around here cool as a cucumber.
But I'm just saying, well, the gentleman who passed away in Brooklyn, what if he was too rich and he didn't know any better? He didn't know right from wrong.
If he was too rich,
maybe he shouldn't
his
have been
medication would have been.
But that's what I'm saying. I think, but that's what kind of frustrates a lot of people that are who are protesting.
I totally get that, but you're protesting an issue that can't be. There's no way around that.
Right.
Like, the cops thought he had it. He's clearly pointing something at them. Like it's not like there's a cell phone in his pocket or some stupid shit. I mean, what are you gonna do?
And mind you, this kid had a blood alcohol level of 0.24, which is 3 times the legal limit in Texas. And mind you, everybody drinks in Texas.
So this is a situation where you grew up rich without consequence. So now you do something that deserves consequence. You still shouldn't get consequence.
And you don't, and you're not able to process right from wrong, and that's considered a mental illness or a mental affliction.
Who is his lawyer? Because let me tell you
Hire
Let me tell you something. Everything's big in Texas. You need to get that lawyer because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And if he got off on that, that lawyer is better than Johnny. God bless the dead.
Yeah. Another person who is in trouble. So Rapper Fabulous. So last week we really wanted to talk about it, but we didn't do a show. But so here's the thing, and obviously everybody's pretty much familiar with the story. We'll play the video. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it already. But the accusation that he allegedly he assaulted his girlfriend, his longtime girlfriend, was it Emily B, right?
Emily,
she used to be on Love and Hip Hop.
Correct.
Nice girl, a very attractive woman. But here's the rub. So in the video, it's confirmed. He says, I got bullets with your name on it, referring to her father. Actually, let me pull that up and play that for everyone. Here's my thing before I play the video. In the report, it says that he assaulted her, and during the assault, he knocked out 2 teeth.
Now, this came out during the week.
Yes.
Now, this video dropped Saturday of that same week.
Yes. Here's the deal. If there is actual photos of her without front teeth or teeth in general,
correct,
and bruises or anything of the sort, this man is finished. Is that safe to say?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay. There you see Emily B. And you see Fabulous having a confrontation with her dad. And she runs away like a person who
screams.
Yeah, she runs away. See, here's a few things about that video, okay? And like I said, none of us are there. We can only go by the information we get and from what we see. She reacts, in my opinion, as somebody who has been hit.
Clearly.
The way she runs back, the way she's a little fidgety. Secondly, by her father's reaction and what he's saying by calling him a coward.
He is protecting her.
He is protecting
from
her,
some sort of abuse or threat.
Which means it seems like he knows that she's been assaulted.
Correct.
That video happened after the assault. I think the assault on her happened March 7th, earlier March, and then she was scared, and the father and the brother came to the house and cleared everything else up.
Right.
It was after the assault happened.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that are off about this, and my stomach hurts to talk about this.
What is off about this?
What is off about this is I feel like as a woman, if I'm assaulted, first of all, the kids in the background screaming hurt my heart. But if I'm assaulted as a woman, I'm taking me and my kids and I'm fleeing. I'm not staying in the house for him to come back. I don't know. Like, if you know that there are guns in the house, I would leave. Like, to me, like, I wouldn't stay at that. I wouldn't stay somewhere knowing, especially if that's the place that I got assaulted, you would come home and your house would be cleared out and there would be like a big size family picture that I couldn't move.
Right.
Like, do you see what I'm saying to you? Like,
so I talk closer to the mic.
Sorry.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like something's very off about this situation.
And because there's been a lot of this going on. Like, I hate stories like this just because.
Me too.
People are like, well, you don't know what she did that maybe she deserved.
Nobody
in their right mind deserves to get their teeth knocked out if it did happen.
You know,
none of us know if it happens.
Do you? Teeth are bones. Do you know what it takes to crack your front teeth?
But her father was there for a reason. Absolutely. And her father was reacting that way for a reason. Like, there's not, you don't call another man a coward. Especially if you're talking about your daughter, because they got into a regular old fight.
So I made a statement on Facebook today, because ever since this video hit and I've dropped it online on IG, Facebook, or whatever, you got normal dudes that you know and love who are defending it on some we don't know the whole story. And the interesting part of that is, if this were a video like the video we saw earlier, where a cop was killing someone unarmed, you don't need to know the whole story.
Right.
You judge it by what you see and take it from there. But with this, because you like the person, you understand what I'm saying? You want to, well, I don't know, you know what I mean? Because Can't Let You Go is your joint. Now, at the end of the day, I'm in Harlem in the barbershop. I'm arguing with the whole barbershop. Like, literally, there's a chance Mason Loon won't let me leave the shop. That's how bad I'm going back and forth with people.
Right.
And I asked them, I said, yo, that's all interesting y'all defending this, but if Emily B's your sister, then what? Mic drop. Everyone's like, oh, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no matter what she did, she don't deserve to have her teeth knocked out her mouth.
Exactly.
So she walks around with a lisp
and
now.
allegedly the whole argument stemmed from the fact that he went out to LA. I think this is what happened. I think they got into an argument, okay? They went back and forth. I think he was going out to LA anyway. He got upset because he found out she was also in LA. I think it was just, okay, I'll see you later. And then she was like, F that, whatever, I'm going to do my thing. Mind you, she has her own businesses. Like, she has her own things that she's a stylist and does other things. So she probably has many people she knows out in LA. He finds out, and that was essentially the crux of why.
And clearly, he may have threatened her upon finding out.
Yes.
So that's where she told her father, go to the house, go get the guns or whatever, her father and her little brother. And that's where this whole scene came from.
Right. And we don't know exactly what happened. We're just basing this off of what we see in this video.
It's a bad look.
It is a bad look.
For him to be charging towards her. He charged towards her twice.
With something
in his hand. He had something in his hand.
And with that reaction that she
backed
had.
off.
Right.
So, again, there's a history there.
Well,
from what you see, there's a history there.
Okay, so this is my thing, right? They're saying All-Star was in February, right? They're saying the argument, he was mad from All Star, right? The incident of her getting her teeth knocked out was like March 7th. This was after that. So, of course, there's a history because her teeth was already knocked out. So even if it never happened before, if somebody knocked my teeth out and they coming towards me, I'm going left. Like, all right, listen.
Because you already know what they're about.
I already lost 2. Don't need to lose 4, right? That's one thing. But also, he performed last Saturday. Like, the video dropped Saturday morning. He performed Saturday night somewhere, and when I tell you, the crowd went crazy like this, and I'm like, clearly,
because
the man just knocked somebody's teeth out their mouth.
But again, you can't ask for accountability from every other demographic if you can't hold your own accountable yourself. Period. The fact that R. Kelly, Chris Brown, etc. are still getting props and respect from not just women, from dudes too. You can't then turn around and say, well, damn, how come the cops kill us and they get away with it? You want your own to get away with it.
Of course.
Even if you love Fabulous and Fab was your man, at most, pull him to the son, you can't be putting your hands on these females. What are you doing? Let's go get you some help.
For me,
something. Do something. Say something.
For me, it's not the indictment on Fabulous because, like I said, we don't know what happened. I think it's more of an indictment on the reaction that we've seen with some of these men trying to find excuses on why it is okay for a man to hit a woman, especially the way it was described that he did.
Right, if somebody hit your mother, then all of a sudden y'all want to be on the
You want to get the whole crew together.
And I'm not saying like a lot of like. I always tell people, you don't know this reality stars, you don't know them. People think that this celebrities' lives are open to you just, giving your opinion.
And you know what kind of person they are.
You don't know that. And I'm not saying you got to go to bat for Emily and you know her. But what I'm saying is, sometimes knowing something, you shouldn't say nothing at all. You shouldn't be like, well, if she did this, I would have done this. Like,
we don't know. You don't know.
You're not inside, but what I do know
is... It's the same way when people say, oh, if I had a gun and that person came to my school,
everyone would bust their gun.
Right. Like, I just feel like at the end of the day, somebody getting their teeth knocked out their mouth is just not right. They have kids together, the kids are screaming, and on what I did not understand from her point of view is, why are you recording this situation? There's somebody in the house recording it from the second floor, and you're trying to record him too. Like, at the end of the day, it's already a bad situation.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? The whole thing is nasty. God forbid me and mine are getting into an argument. I'm not gonna be like, what you said again?
Right.
You said what? And then he lunged at me, and I'm like, hold on a second. Like you see what I'm saying? Like, why are you recording somebody?
That is a good point.
Right. At the end of the day, you have kids with this man, and you like, hold on.
Like, you try to catch him, like, oh, see everybody, this is Fab bugging.
Like this is the way.
This is how he bugs out.
Right.
Look at him.
Like that's the point that bothered me for it, because I feel like as a woman, you have kids with this man, which means he's gonna be on your life for the rest of until eternity.
Right.
And you over here like, hold on one second, he bugging out right here.
But think about it this way. Imagine if the video's out, right? We just saw that video.
Absolutely.
People are still defending him. Imagine if there wasn't any video. Imagine if it was just Fabulous beating him. Oh my God. Like, Fabulous would have his own parade the way people are defending him. It's ridiculous.
Right, but I also feel like how many times has your significant other bugged out and you never was like, well, let me just save this because if it ever goes public, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that part of that, some things should stay private.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To me, as a man, regardless of what, and I don't say this to be offensive, there's nothing that makes a man angry than his woman. You're not. I think any time in his life I've been angry to the point where I've seen red is over a female at the end of the day, and vice versa. Like, if a female's vexed, it's over her dude, and vice versa. At the end of the day, you still have to control yourself. Period.
Right.
You never catch me and Sweet Mom, we arguing or whatever. You never catch me in the video charging towards it. You would never have to separate me from her. Like, that's crazy.
And I'm sure that she would never be recording you. Like, let me see how mad.
And vice versa. You never see her put her hands on me and sick shit like that. That's crazy.
The crazier thing is, though, if there is actual video of her with no teeth or whatever,
like,
any bruises.
What you say he's done, but I don't believe so.
Right.
Because the way people
I don't
are
believe
acting
so.
over this,
that is crazy.
He's gonna drop another
so.
mixtape for the summer, and listen, it's gonna be.
And the thing is,
his
he's a
mixtape for the
soft
summer.
R&B rapper. Most of his raps, or his big singles, are R&B hooked out there for the ladies.
Right, and I'm not gonna lie, I love Fab's mistakes. I bump them all the time.
I love Soul Tapes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
But I also feel like with that situation, I do not feel like Fab is done because I've seen the support. But like, even when Chris Brown, remember when you heard about the assault on Rihanna and then the picture came out? I'm telling you right now, he would have been able to make it. Because remember, right after the argument, they were in Miami at Star Island together.
Right.
And everybody was like, it wasn't that bad. When that picture came out, it was like...
That's what blew it up.
But here's the difference between Chris Brown and Fabulous. And obviously Chris Brown... And there's nowhere we're excusing what Chris Brown did.
Chris Brown was younger.
But he was younger, and apparently assault was done.
And Rihanna was hitting him while he was driving, allegedly.
Right, allegedly.
Yes.
So...
And grabbing his balls.
Right. So you don't know the impetus of what was going on. But Fab is 42 years old.
Yeah. You gotta watch these people. Like, I made a status saying that. You remember how the last year's election exposed a lot of bigotry?
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
like the white people you hung out with, you didn't know they felt the way about you. Like, there's a lot of like abusers or I'm dead ass. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, shit, you can't blame Fab. What?
Yeah, nah, it's true.
Yo, seriously.
A lot. Like, yo, the abusers have
wow.
been exposed on this too. Watch how they talk.
Yeah.
Shout out to some of you abusers on my thread.
My thing is, like, if that picture comes out and you still defend Fab, then what's that say about you?
That says you going up somebody's head.
Mind you, there's still people who buy tickets, R. Kelly tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still those people that still support.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, come on.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh God, here come the remix to Ignition over here.
I did see a R. Kelly concert in 2010, and the thing came out in 2002. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't pay for it, but
you went.
It was front row.
Why don't you braid my hair?
But you.
I did.
But you went though.
I did. I ain't gonna lie.
That's the problem. Like we have this thing where,
and it was like 98% women in
we
there.
put these entertainers on a pedestal that we give them this leeway. Like, yo, they can mess up this much because you know what? I still love their music so much that I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, more prominent, like look at Michael Jackson. We don't know what he did with those boys, but we always give him the benefit of the doubt just because we love, Can't Stop Till You Get Enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same man that made Thriller.
Who in here believes that Michael abused them?
I don't. I don't.
He's a weirdo, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, he was definitely weird and awkward, but I don't think he's out here.
I don't think that people. I think that's a different. I don't think that's a good example because nobody around this table believes that he did it. It's
well, maybe
like
because Thriller was made and everybody loves Thriller.
He seemed more asexual than anything. I'm surprised he touched a woman, let alone kids.
I don't think it's about the music. I think that we just didn't believe that he did it. R. Kelly, I think that people.
Well, there's a tape.
I think that
exactly.
Right. No, and I feel like people feel like his music is good, so it's like, you know what, my kid was made to that, so I don't like. You see what I'm saying? It's a different example.
Yo, yeah. Charles wants to know: did gentrification cause this?
The gentrification did cause this, yes. Charles. Yes, thank you. It caused that. What a jerk. Gentrification did cause. Yes. Absolutely did cause this.
Hi, Voice.
But
excuse me. Well, Voice has a comment.
Voice. You have to do it in Voice's voice, though. Get it?
All right, do it.
I don't know.
He says Fab should have known better after all that's happening now.
After all that happened now,
and you can save by going to T-Mobile. I don't know what the rest of that comment's about. But point is exactly
right. Yeah, but like I said,
Voices are referring to the whole women's movement, the whole Me Too movement. Right
now, man. I mean, you can't really.
Yeah, but I doubt if you're beating your wife, you're
really like.
There's a Me Too movement
going on. Yeah,
we'll talk about this later. Yeah, it's like, come on.
And the thing, and if they are true, like if this did happen where he punched her and he was abusive at this instance, then there's a history of it. This is there's not like a one-time thing that this happens and it's like it came out of nowhere.
You know what I always wanted to know, did people still make music with Ike after they found out that he beat Tina?
Probably, because it was a different time. I think a lot of more people. I think
it was
domestic violence was a lot more acceptable back then.
I think the Lean on Me dude had those issues too.
Yeah,
Withers.
Oh, Bill Withers.
Bill Withers. Yeah, he had those issues
I think
too.
So. Yeah. I think it was. I don't want to say it was acceptable, but it was. That was kind of the thing. Like, yeah, a lot of people hit. I think James Brown.
I'm gonna go home and beat my wife.
James Brown definitely went.
David Ruffin.
Yeah.
David Ruffin.
He tore up. What's
Tammy
her name?
Terrell.
Tammy Terrell. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of the thing.
I can't even imagine.
Erica O'Neill says, we got to stop supporting them. It shows girls that their actions are accepted and boys that abuse is okay.
Yeah, girls think that is love.
To me, period.
And by the way,
the gender
it goes
thing.
both ways. Because it goes both ways.
Because there are a lot of women who feel you can't hit me, so I can touch you.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is complete bullshit.
Absolutely.
Like that is a supremacy way of thinking. That is, I'm better than you. I can do something to you based on my agenda that you can't do to me.
Right.
Which is nonsense. Don't touch nobody. Period.
Right.
Male, female. Like, keep your hands to yourself.
Absolutely.
And this doesn't happen.
My parents always taught me, if you hit, expect to get hit back. Like, don't put your hands on people. Like, do not put your hands on people because you can't tell me, oh, I slapped you lightly if I punch you in your face. Like, you can't tell me how to react to what you did to me. So you don't know how people are going to react.
Certain people get triggered by certain things, certain ways of being touched. Like, it just is what it is.
Let me ask you a question. If, let's say the story is true that he hit her and knocked teeth out or whatever, but come to find out that she actually assaulted him as well, does it excuse him now, or is it less heinous?
No, because if she assaulted him, say he hit her, pushed her, or whatever, fine, you subdue her. Like, punching teeth out, that's a fight for real.
Yeah.
Like, he went black. Like, he probably blacked
out.
out.
You fought her like you would fight a dude or anyone else you are fighting. Like, nah.
But that's what what do they call it? Like a crime of passion?
So here go Bakari. So, all just gonna assume the worst. Wouldn't we all want due process? Bakari, open your fucking eyes. What you saw in the video. Again, Bakari, I asked you, Bakari.
But I think he just signed on.
All right, but he knows the video because me and him have discussed this.
Right.
If you saw the video, I mean, what do you think of the video? If you knew Emily, if Emily's your people, you're gonna feel some sort of way about what you witnessed.
Of course, and as a father, you see a father react that way, and you call another man a coward in the way he's acting. You don't react that way just off of because they had an argument.
Now everyone wants to know.
There's something deeper there.
Now everyone wants to know what happened beforehand. What took place in the 70s? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like,
no, but Bakari is right. He does deserve due process.
Yes, in the court.
Yes, absolutely.
But from what you saw just now, he clearly looks like an abuser.
He looks like it, but I don't know if it confirms it. To be honest with you,
I don't know. You got a blade in your hand and you coming towards me.
Right.
And saying I got a bullet with your name on it.
You're making terrorist threats and all that. This isn't my lovable R&B rapper here.
Goddamn gentrification. Because if everybody in the neighborhood would have known Fabulous, they would have been able to stop
exactly.
him. Like, Jesus Christ. All right, and then this story. So this Fox 5 News, I don't know where this is based out of. So
DC.
Okay, DC. So you know how this whole thing has become viral where, kids are, I think more importantly, I've seen a lot more black kids do this, but they have these reaction videos of getting accepted to colleges like Yale and Harvard and so on and so forth. So this kid I think he applied to 20 schools and got accepted to 18 of them. So these news anchors are reporting on his reaction and how they kind of feel like he was being a bit obnoxious.
Single one. Michael Brown is his name. You're talking Yale, Harvard, Princeton, literally all of them. But this has sort of brought on this, and he got full rides to all of them. Full rides. So he has this pick, right? The video went viral, all this stuff. So it has sparked the discussion, though, of how many schools you should apply to. And do you think it's a little ridiculous that this kid applied to 20, taking away a spot and basically waitlisting another kid? Yeah.
Well, he didn't. Wait. No, let me pause that.
With me, but I actually think it's ridiculous to apply to 20 schools. I do. I mean,
So he got scholarships to 20 of these schools. Last time I checked, you can't attend all 20 of them.
Correct.
So how is he taking away scholarships?
Right, because when he rescinds the offer, when he declines the offer, then it opens up for somebody else to get that.
Right.
So what's the problem?
That's why you're in the waiting list.
Right. What's the problem? And you didn't pay for his applications. His parents did. So why are you mad at that?
All right.
my children not to. Yeah. I mean, he could have applied to 5. He would have gotten in all 5. It would have been equally as impressive. 10 would have been impressive. And you can Google as many articles as you want. Admissions officers will say on average you should apply to 4 to 8 schools, right? So do you think this is a little obnoxious? I think it's a little obnoxious because you can only go to 1. You can only take 1 full ride. And you are taking a spot from someone else.
No, you're not, because you can't attend all schools.
And you are taking a spot from someone else who worked really hard. But Holly, why not? The kid could get into. I mean, but if you don't take it, the full ride goes back into the pot.
Exactly.
The best thing about this story, which I stand on, is that 19 kids come off the wait list. Right. 19 other kids are going to.
That's the best thing about the story.
Yeah. Right. Not the kid getting.
Not the kid getting
yeah.
Parents talked him off the ledge when they didn't get in.
What's weird is that because this is the conversation I'm always having now with my kids who are looking to go to school after high school, college, and I'm like 5 schools. Yeah, I think 5 schools. But there is the math. I found this article on Prep Scholar, and they say if the more selective you want to be, or the more, I guess, selective college is, that number goes up to 15. It can go up to 15.
So forget the fact, and we can pause it there. We can actually stop it there. The fact that a kid, smart kid, black kid, has the opportunity to go to 20, he gets scholarship offers from 20 schools. That's not something we need to talk about or celebrate. It's obnoxious, is that for the fact that he got accepted to 20 of them.
And his name is Michael Brown. The last time that name was associated with anything, it was bad.
Ding, ding.
Like,
Right.
what is wrong with these people?
Thomas from Virginia says it's jealousy, and he's absolutely right.
Right.
If this were a white kid celebrating such a thing, this would not be a story.
Gentrification
Period.
there you go again.
Period.
They're gentrifying these colleges. It's amazing.
It's obnoxious
It's
for him
obnoxious.
to
It's obnoxious.
celebrate such an accomplishment.
To get a full ride
This,
to 20
this woman's
schools.
kids probably could not go to community college. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, how
Shout out
dare
to community
she?
college. I
Yeah,
went to.
shout out to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Nothing
But, like,
wrong with community
but again,
college.
But if your ass can't get accepted and you mad at someone getting accepted to Harvard,
right?
Right. Harvard amongst and 19 others. Like,
Yes.
excuse me. What is wrong with these people? Are really crazy.
Why we can't just congratulate the kid and like, yo, this kid's really smart. And once again,
we can.
He can't. Congratulations to you, Michael Brown.
Yes,
But here's the thing: you can't attend all 20 schools, so you're not taking a scholarship from anybody.
No, what are you gonna do? Hop around to each school every day? Like, no, I'm going to this
Like, what
one.
do you-
Fly over to this one.
Her argument is similar to the affirmative action argument.
Right.
They're taking
They're
away
taking
from
away-
someone more deserving, that type of stupid shit. Like,
Right.
Please.
It's ridiculous. Like the kid is smart enough that he got accepted to all these prominent schools.
And just be happy.
Just be happy. And he's getting a scholarship for it. He wasn't. Look, he strapped his boots up and worked hard. Right? Is that what they want?
And that's very hard.
Isn't that what they wanted? By the way. So we work hard. We did exactly what you say we should do. I think he just came out over slavery. I think he forgot about Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He did exactly what you
but
wanted.
It's a good news story. Like, a lot
course.
of people have issues with the news. They say it's all bad news. This is a good news story.
And you
And
call
you
it
turned it
obnoxious.
bad. Right. You turned into something bad. Like, he's obnoxious.
But
Like, how
like,
dare
but when
you?
we celebrate our accomplishments, it's obnoxious to you.
Right.
I'm surprised the sister ain't slapped the shit out of her right there on the right of her. She
No.
should have.
And then
I think she responded. She responded because people were
attacking her too?
attacking her, and she was like, "I've been attacked in many other basically, I feel the way I feel. Oh well." Like, she said she agreed.
It doesn't make any sense though. What is obnoxious about a kid doing exactly what you want to do and get good grades, and then all of a sudden it's now he's taking a spot from. Yeah, it sounds really
No, it's affirmative action, yeah.
very similar. Yes, very very similar.
They be alright though.
Yeah. All right. Sunday morning breakfast. Call us up 516-900-2278 when we come back. You got to see this little girl and listen. I don't know. Before we get to this, I want to ask you guys. Okay, you guys don't have kids. If you had a kid though, do you think you would spank your kids?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Would you spank your kids?
Yeah.
All right. I want to hear from the thread of the people who would not spank their kids. I'm going to show you a video when we come back, and you let me know if you would spank this kid. All right. Sunday morning breakfast. We'll be right back.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up? Just like that?
Giving up on what?
I'm getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me, we are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey, the dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Today, my new dad threw a barbecue.
Today, my new son and I threw a barbecue.
There were burgers and chicken.
I burnt everything. The burgers, the chicken, the salad.
They were delicious.
They were awful.
And then we had watermelon.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
And then we played catch.
I broke Mr. Lewis's window, Mrs. Wakeham's window, Mrs. Wakeham's windshield, and then somehow my hand. My hand!
And then my dad even let me drive his car.
The hospital's on the right! It was a rough day.
It was a great day.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom, but a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be, and just what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and, even for me, ways to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics that got me started, but also information about the hurdles I was facing in this new role. I could even connect with experts and hear from others who'd been in my place. I know this road we're on isn't an easy one, but I'm really happy to have the extra help for her and for me.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. This message is brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Call us at 516-900-2278. Weekend review show. So I want to get everybody's reactions. We're not going to do news of the weird. I want to basically get your reaction on this little girl's tantrum. I guess she was in preschool or school in general. And yeah, this is how she reacted. Let's play that. Oh.
Yo, this is not even funny. It's disgusting.
Miss T is on the way.
Oh my God.
Do you need to take a breather?
This child's not West Indian.
Is everything okay? You need to talk about anything?
Breather.
It does not end.
You want to talk about something? Come on. But that's not how you talk.
Damn! Yo. Oh!
Bro.
Get that R. Get that R. Get that R. Get the R. Oh.
Angela Bassett and Wait and Exhale wasn't the same. This is ridiculous.
Bakari, she don't got no mental issues. She's rude, Bakari.
Mental issues.
Bakari for real?
Y'all better help her before. Never mind.
Trini, man, let me see it in your voice. Bushy little ass.
Yo.
So anybody out there who's always, you said they would never hit their kids, would you hit this kid?
No, we said
there's
we
certain people who would not
spanking.
do it, who would not
That's good
spank.
for them.
They do not believe in spanking. There's certain people out there who do not believe in it.
Who at this table believes in spanking?
I blame gentrification for that girl. Little girl's crying.
All right, so everyone here has gotten their ass whooped, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, now
absolutely.
I'm gonna ask you another honest question.
Mm-hmm.
Has any of us served the bid?
No.
Nope.
No.
Been arrested?
No.
Okay. Voices.
So
voices are here to mess up the.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, actually,
I fainted.
I'm in jail now.
Yeah. That was, but you guys saw a reaction from the father.
The father
I didn't
said
even
to
see
mind their
this.
business. But my whole thing is like Bino said during the break, put it on social media. I mean, you put it on social media. That's for everybody to see and make opinions
And have
on.
an opinion about. You like your business to
Right.
yourself. Keep it to yourself.
You know
like,
how many million views this thing had?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was getting triggered watching this little girl in action. B, what kind of timeout? Like, what's timeout gonna do?
Were you disappointed in the reaction of the teacher? You think the teacher should have been a lot more aggressive, or
No, I think
Because
that the
she
teacher did
can't
what
put
she
her hands on her.
I'm not telling you put your hands on her, but you like
She
you-
definitely was. Do you need a timeout?
Right.
All that shit. I definitely would have raised the voice a little bit.
And
there,
I know
please.
she was probably like, "Do you do that?" Like she was probably because she, she sounded like a black mother. She sounded like a black grandmother. So they don't play at all.
No, you guys bring up a good point. There's no way that girl's touching. No woman's touching that girl because
Nah, of course not.
next thing you know,
way.
it becomes a different case.
Of course not.
But then you start saying to yourself, that little girl deserves an ass whooping.
Sweet Mama said you can't hit other people's kids. Her teacher should have had her sit down. Evidently, she didn't want to sit down. She was clearly not listening at all.
Yo, but again, you
flipping over
just
chairs.
gonna bulldoze the whole preschool? Like she throwing over shit? Like what is this? Like I never seen no shit like a little girl like this was crazy. No, y'all see this shit? Like this was crazy.
I think her,
Hulk smash. I know, right?
Her bubbles were too tight or something. Like she was over it. Like her mother, them side bubbles was too tight.
Shit.
No.
Which means this kid, if you feel like you can react like that in school, then you have no discipline at home, in my opinion.
I
There's
was
no
born
way.
in the 80s and ain't raised my voice till 96. Like, are you crazy?
That's wild.
Not
Imagine
even.
us in school doing this stupid shit. Imagine.
96? You did not raise your voice in 96. I think it was a little later than that.
It might have been, damn it. 'Cause,
no.
I knew better. Like, this was crazy.
Listen, the first time I raised my voice to my mother, that pot came off that stove. It was not, like, I was feeling myself that day, and she was like, excuse me? And she hit me from the back. Okay? It was completely an onslaught.
I got my ass whooped twice. I've said it before. I got my ass whooped twice in school. My mother had the decency to do it in the teacher's lounge. So I was just embarrassed in front of the teacher. My father, a month or two later, did it in front of the whole class. Daddy! Yo, next thing I know, I went from the 3rd floor to the 5th floor. Okay? So,
nah, you know what's crazy? Recently, Mason, I got a call from the school.
Oh shit. Not my champ.
Yo, so
no, come on.
So Mason apparently he was wild. So he went into the girls' bathroom. The teacher calls me. He's like, "Yeah, you got to come in. You got to come in because your son is bugging out." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Right, he's watching too much TV.
She says, "Yeah, he went to the girls' bathroom and he was running on the lunchroom stool or whatever, just bugging out." So I'm like, I gotta make a trip.
You needed to have that Haitian accent on deck.
Yeah, so I mean, here's the hard dilemma about it. All eyes are on you now because you can't hit your kid in front of because then
and you can't be laughing either.
Yeah, you can't be laughing. So I go there with the serious tone, like, Mason, come here. And so the woman's like, no, you got to take him into the office. You can't just put him in front of. And the other kids are like,
with their phones out. What did he do when he saw you?
Yo, he turned around. He just, oh shit, like he knew he was in trouble.
Yo, what? You caught him coming out the girls' bathroom. He walks out and you're standing there. Fancy meeting you here, son.
Mason, he probably had his collar up, feeling himself.
He was mad cool.
Do me a favor.
He had 2 little girls with him.
Running the lunchroom. All of a sudden, you see your father.
Yo.
Dun dun dun.
Yo, I never forget. Yo, I looked at him. I was like, I gotta get calls.
I can't.
And he was just sitting there like, oh man,
yo,
this
what?
is not good.
Shit. He lucky Corinne ain't come to the school. It'd have really been over for his ass.
Yo, Corinne literally. So he did this. He does this whole thing where he falls out still, and we've been trying to get him out of that.
I can't.
Pregnant ass Corinne lifts him up like Thor. Like picks him up like this. Get your ass up.
I can't.
You guys think I'm mean. Well, I know Corinne is. Yeah,
I know Corinne. Don't mess around.
She literally, and the teacher's like, no, you don't have to lift them up. You're pregnant. Relax. She's like, no, I got this. Lifts them up.
He probably like,
yo, what?
Yeah, he's
my big champ.
Yeah, he's a little much.
What's this going in the girls' bathroom thing about?
I have no idea. I don't know what because his friend.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, we asked him, and we were, what made you go in? And he was like,
too much the news.
He's like, my friend went in there, and I was waiting for my friend. I couldn't wait for my friend, so I went in there. I'm like, yo, you can't do that. Like, especially these days.
My friend went in there. I
yeah,
can't.
next thing you know, he's in court because
I know, right? Yes, exactly.
Word.
You know what I mean? So,
Carrera is so funny. I sure did. She
That's what she said. Yeah, she lifted up one-handed, like get up, like
I can't.
Yeah, she don't play that shit.
And she's what, 9 months pregnant? 8 months
Yeah,
pregnant?
yeah. At the time, 8 months, but yeah, she could. The teacher's like, no, relax. You're pregnant. You gonna hurt yourself.
Is he on the right path, or do we have to
First of
send
all,
him to military
right.
school here?
But how you talking about relax when you called us to the school? Like it's not.
No, well, this is
what you make the scene in front of the other kids.
With Corinne, it was she was dropping him off and he was acting out. With me, they called me and I had to go and go check him.
You about to have that talk about the babies coming? Is there anything you need to talk about?
Yeah, I was like, listen, you can't be doing this in first grade. Like they don't play that shit. Like it's like
I can't do it.
Like it's the NBA or something. Like man, it's a different ball game out in the first grade. You can't be acting out like this.
Yeah, parents had that talk every summer before. Like now you going to 6th grade.
Yeah,
it's the same for every grade. Like
exactly.
Like listen,
but you can't embarrass the good Aldenor name.
The good Sunday morning breakfast name.
That's right. Yes,
you're gonna embarrass us in the show like this.
Preach is such a big guy in the community, cutting ribbons in front of centers and shit. Meanwhile, his son is walking in any bathroom he pleases. I don't give a shit. Caitlin can walk in. I can do it too.
I know all the mental ill
exactly.
people out there and stuff.
Yes.
And then you had this safari situation. Now, listen, I can't. I've never been robbed. I would never want to be robbed. I'm pretty sure it's not a great experience. But it was a little weird. He was on Angie Martinez's show, and he says like 2 hours before appearing, he got robbed, and proceeds to cry. Let me play
that
the
red
tape.
fur, boy.
What's happening? First of all, are you okay?
I just.
Oh man.
Angie's so petty.
I know. Oh man.
I just got robbed. At gunpoint.
What do you mean just now? Just like right now?
A couple hours ago, I just got robbed.
Angie, don't you understand?
Now let me ask you a question.
Yes.
A couple hours ago, you just got robbed.
Yes.
You know you can reschedule.
I was also saying maybe another day. Yes.
And I understand him being shook and being traumatized. I get that. But you still decided to go on the show with your red fur on?
I respect him for still going on.
I don't.
Now, give your perspective.
I feel like he didn't let it stop him because what people did not know at the time is his friend robbed him.
Well, one of his friends
and I
went
feel
on
like
the
and I feel like people think that they can stop your grind and stop your hustle. One monkey don't stop no show. So I respect him for still.
I'm just like, you can't use that word.
I can use it. Thank you very much. I feel like I respect him for still going on and not letting it stop him. And I feel like, his uncle just died from the same thing. They robbed him. And that's why he felt the way he felt, because he said it. He was like, I thought about my mom. Like, I thought about how she would feel. And no one can tell you how you feel when you have a gun to the back of your head.
But doesn't it humble yourself enough to where you could say, maybe we could not wear the fur coat today?
They didn't steal the fur. They stole the jewelry.
No, I'm just saying he can not, because that's the thing with Safari too. Like, and I actually like the dude. I think he's enjoying life. But you gotta remember, this is the same guy that on the Breakfast Club throwing singles up in the air.
It's his song.
Okay, I've never seen a rapper before bring singles to a radio show and throw it up in the air.
He didn't bring hundreds. Listen, I don't think that the robbery. I got robbed. I got robbed as a teenager, right? It didn't stop me from wearing jewelry. It wasn't gonna stop me. It wasn't. Nobody was gonna instill that fear in me to feel like you can't do this. Because
I think it's a little bit different with in general. If you naturally wear jewelry and you like jewelry, that's fine. But there's also there's stunting as well, and he's definitely he stunts, and it's fine.
But everyone in the hip hop community does that. Right. This is the culture now. Like it doesn't mean your own people should put a gun to you. Like,
I'm not saying it's warranted. I'm not saying he asked for it, but I'm also saying like I'm not gonna wear Wrangler jeans now because you people hate. Like
right. Like get your own. The same way I'm able to wear mine and do what I do. Get your own. Like people hate. Like I used to be young and wonder why Puffin them used to always rap about player hating and stupid shit. Like I didn't get it until I got older and see you little clowns put comments under my pics and hating shit. Like you listen and you watch how people move and they're so broke, and not broke financially, but just broke emotionally and shit. Every little thing you got upsets them because they don't have it. When we got the same opportunity, you can go get what you got to get yourself. Like, that shit is corny. Right. Like, you putting a gun to him, you could have robbed him with your hands. He's a bitch. No disrespect. He's not a tough guy.
Oh, man. I
don't give a shit. He is. Like, he's not a tough guy. He doesn't rap tough guy shit.
But that doesn't necessarily make him a bitch.
When you see him in videos, he does some funny shit. But the bottom line is he's not inviting that kind of energy. He's not saying, come see me, any shit like that. Right. Period. So, what's the purpose of putting a gun to him and robbing him and doing all this wild shit?
Right. I mean, I wouldn't call him a bitch, but I would say that I don't think.
I'm not saying
okay, I did. You didn't.
I'm
Get over it. But the bottom line is,
I wouldn't let that. I wouldn't say, well, you know what? I'm not gonna wear my fur today because they ride. Nah, wear what you bought that with your hard-earned money.
That's exactly my point.
I've seen him in plenty club appearances. He's always on time. He's so cordial. He has fun.
I think he's a good dude.
He deserves everything he's getting.
People around him
and people
always
shouldn't stop.
Bakari says you're victim blaming. Shaw says he's not that 6'9" dude. All right, exactly. And 6'9", okay. So if I call 6'9" a bitch, y'all good with that?
No, I don't call anybody a bitch.
Okay,
better than that.
You good with that? Because I need your approval to use that word.
We never said you need your approval. Nobody said that.
I'm joking. Relax. Get off the period. My point is this, yo. He's a tough guy. He acts like a tough guy. So if that happened to him, it's warranted.
Right.
That's my point. So, what's his name? Safari does not do that.
Right, he invites that. Like 6ix9ine invites it. Look at his interview compared to Safari's interview. He may be stunting, but he's a humble dude.
Right.
This
again,
one brings drama everywhere.
Oh shit, that's your
shit.
shit.
It's your shit. When people be like, why did you wear that? Cause it's mine. Remember when I first started, like, why she got a fur on? Cause it's mine. Like,
right.
I wear whatever I want. I wear it in 90-degree weather. It's mine.
No,
like,
yeah, that's bugging out.
So
though.
what? I don't care. It's mine.
Yeah, you
like,
definitely.
Right. I'm giving you an example of people.
I still
Can I finish?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's why it makes me walking into the bathroom disrespecting you.
I can't call it. I can't call it though, man. I don't know what's gotten over him.
Ah, shit. But like, I wouldn't have done that interview, especially not on a day.
I'm not doing that.
I would have done it.
I wouldn't have done it at all because again, I'm gonna be super emotional and all that shit. Like, yeah, nah. Like, we could have let some grass grow. Yeah. But they say the cops did catch the person.
It was a few people, and one of the people was his friends.
It was like 8 hours later. Like, they caught him really quickly.
They probably were like...
But you know, it's so funny to know that...
And there's always somebody in your team. Yeah, it's always...
But that's who hates you the most. The people who know you and feel that you shouldn't have the opportunities that you have.
Because they knew you back in the day.
That's who you getting the most of the hate from. You sit and think about it. It's not strangers that don't know you. Right. I mean, it's going to be that. But the people who hate you most intensely know you and seeing you and don't like your come up.
Betrayal never comes from a stranger. Like, I think people forget that. Betrayal comes from people that you know. Disloyalty never comes from a stranger. That's why it hurts so much. Like, that's your friend. He had a picture with him 10 years ago and doing this and doing that. People, you got to look at your team. And
look at Big L. His own man killed him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know.
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Call us up 516. Actually, don't call us up. We was about to end the show. When we come back, we'll do our winners and losers sit down segment of the week. We'll be right back.
It feels like you're frozen, petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments. The bills begin to pile up. Not knowing what to do, you do nothing at all. And that's the worst thing you can do. Because if you take action, if you do something about your mortgage problems, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov and do something about your mortgage problems. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking. But no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times? When we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while. Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/bloodpressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Psst. Yeah, it's me, your heart. Listen to me. We've got to talk. High blood pressure is serious, and yours? Whoa. What happened to us? We used to be so much more active. But lately you've been ignoring me. I know you think I'm just gonna keep ticking away forever, but you're wrong. You can do so much more to control your high blood pressure. Doing the minimum isn't doing enough. I'm under a lot of pressure and can quit whenever I want. Bet you didn't know that. But I like my job. Just treat me better. Check on me. Give me something green to nibble on every once in a while. And maybe we can do some exercise on occasion. Let's get to it. After all, we're in this together.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/bloodpressure.
Why don't you sit down and shut up?
What? Why don't I sit down and what?
I said, why don't you sit down and shut up? Sit down and shut up!
Sit down and shut up.
Sit down and shut up! Sit down and shut up! Sit down and shut up!
Sit down and shut up!
Sit down and shut up!
Yeah, Sunday morning breakfast, winners and losers, sit down segment for the week of April 7th. We're already in April. Good God, winners. Bino, who is your winner for this week, sir?
Oh, definitely not Boris.
No, it's not Boris at all.
Let's go with that Q, B. You know what I mean? I just need that Q.
I changed it.
Okay, please, jeez. Anyway, I tell you. I mean, seriously. Now, all right. So there's this guy this week. Some guy. He made several tweets about a situation at his job where a coworker stole another coworker's lunch. Did you guys hear about this?
Yes.
No.
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh my God. So it was several tweets. I will not read them, but basically, a coworker took another coworker's lunch, and so he starts to tweet where that coworker who had his lunch stolen goes to security, and they're looking at the security footage. So we're all on the edge of our seat as to what he finds out. So they find out that some lady took the lunch, right? Took it out the fridge within a 30-minute span and didn't touch any of it and just took it out the fridge and threw it out.
Oh, wow.
So apparently,
somebody's got to die.
Yeah, B, it was shrimp and rice and fried rice.
Ooh.
You know when you put shrimp in, you got to pay $2 more. You know this. So you know this wasn't swine and rice by any means, right? So the next day, and then the girl left for the day. So the next day, the girl comes to work, and the coworker who had his stuff stolen confronts the girl, and they go, argue back and forth about it on some I didn't do it shit, and it was a whole to do. So basically, long story short, y'all need to read that. We're gonna put it on our page. Y'all check it out. It was absolutely hilarious. It was funny to the point where celebs got involved.
But there's also like that. That's that workplace etiquette. Like, what do you do with your lunch? Like, when I used to work in the office, I never put it in the fridge just because I never trusted anybody. Because I know people will just take it.
What?
Even if you put your name on it, that doesn't really matter to certain people. Like, they don't care.
Your name. I graffiti my shit. Like, I'm drawing all over it. Do not touch. Exactly. Right. You'll be scared of it. Okay.
Now do you have that issue at your workplace?
No, it's a 2-person organization. It's only me and my boss, and she's a vegan.
Oh, so yeah.
I don't have that problem.
So when you steal her stuff, she knows the black girl took it. There's no wondering.
So you bring a big head.
Did you take my vegan chicken nuggets? Nope.
I can't with the 2-person organization.
No.
I can't.
That's a 2-person organization. So I don't have. Thank God. I don't know how I would. If and when I leave, I don't know how I would get acclimated to that anymore.
There's like greens on one side, and then there's oxtail and rice. So
I would be mad if somebody dumped my oxtail, rice, and peas with extra gravy and
first
cabbage.
Off, you got to understand, if it's there for more than a day, consider it gone. Because I think people are.
But you have to put your name. I took someone's stuff this week, yo. Again,
and you ate it?
Yo, it was all right. So we get like free chips, but this one day there was barbecue. So normally it's just regular chips. It's barbecue chip. I'm a black man. I'm gonna indulge. So I took it. Later on, somebody come around my desk. Anyone see my barbecue chips? So I'm sitting there like, oh shit. Like I know it's barbecue. I know they're gonna smell it on me at most.
Takes a hand sanitizer.
I'm washing my mouth. Yo. I came out and said, I was like, yeah, I took it. Well, why'd you take it? I was like, well, you ain't put your name on it, did you? And that was the end of the conversation.
Yeah, but that was somebody else. But you know you didn't buy it.
I know it was there amongst the chips. That's it. Period. Why was it there? I thought it was free like the rest of the chips.
That's true. Sometimes the officers do bring in free snacks and things like that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta be.
He knew them chips wasn't his. I don't know why y'all sit here listening to that.
He can't work at my two-person organization.
He knew them chips was not his chips.
We would vote him out.
Everybody listened to that and knew he knew
I'd walk in a two-person intervention.
You knew.
Sit it down here. We want you out of here. It'd be like the Railroad House when they kick out one of the roommates.
Yo.
When they kicked out Puck.
I'd have my overnight bag looking back, dropping my keys off at the table.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's lunch work etiquette, and you can't leave your food.
I don't know if he's a winner or a loser. What do we put him as?
This is the guy who
he was basically like commentating. He was like the Marv Albert of the situation. Yeah, he's the winner. All right, who is your winner, Crystal?
My winner has to go to Cardi B this week.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with you too. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be Cardi B. I feel like I said earlier, in 3 years she did something that a lot of people could never accomplish, and she came, like I said, from the gutter, and she just hosted SNL last night. She's definitely having a winning streak of 3 years, so I'm definitely giving it to her.
Yes, and I would make her my winner as well because she also confirmed the pregnancy. Which was pretty obvious. Yeah. We all saw it. We like, well, she's wearing a lot of big dresses, and really covering her belly. It's amazing. But good luck to her. I think her career has gone through the roof, and I don't know about the guy she's with, but
He's one of those weirdos.
Offset.
Takeoff okay, whatever.
Takeoff. Yeah, he's all Offset.
Takeoff is the one I never remember. Thank you, Takeoff.
Yeah, but yes, but wish him the best
I don't remember any of them, but yes,
she's winning right now, so you can't deny.
Good for her.
Yeah. So all right, let's get to losers. Who is your loser for this week?
My loser is Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Do we have the footage of this foolishness?
No, it's on it's a regular video. Minimize this. And it is the another one on the bottom. There you go. TMZ one. Live radio, everybody.
That's right, yes.
Here we go. This guy is bugged out.
Yes. Now let's watch this. Premeditate. Ooh. Yes. Yeah.
Yo, I got everything on video. McGregor said it's McGregor.
Yeah, and he grabs like a barricade.
Yes, Jessica. This is what we're doing now. Yes.
Yo, son, you gotta put your phone a little bit lower.
Yo, is that Trinity Man?
I think it is Trinity Man. Trinity Man's everywhere. You have to put it in the wall.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, that's crazy.
And Thomas from Virginia asks, is this WWE? No, this is not.
No, there's no steel cage matches.
Exactly. This is the UFC, and this is some foolishness. Now, not only is Conor my loser for throwing a tantrum like the little girl we saw in the video earlier.
Sorry, guys.
Yes. And Crystal Stout is also my loser for needing a wake-up alarm during the end of the show. Yes.
God,
yeah, but yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is, if this were a black athlete,
with his goons, mind you, with his goons.
Yes, we know what time it is. Yep. All kinds of thuggery all over the place.
If this was LeBron, if this was AI, if this was anybody.
Yes. Come on. A day says white people are crazy. Look, in this video, they definitely bugging. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that was... Somebody got hurt.
And
a couple people got hurt.
And Conor got arrested.
He got arrested. He's out on $50,000 bail.
He was in jail for...
A day. I think it was just a day. But
If that. But
if that. But he posted bail and he's out. And he's gonna have to go to court, I think, in June. But yeah, I think you're right. If this was somebody else, forget that. If that was Floyd, what? This is another reason why.
Imagine if it was Tyson or somebody. My God.
I mean, but here's the thing. I don't think this was an act either. I think this was real. I think he really did this on his own. But, I see Dana White going out and saying, yeah, we don't condone this. This was disgusting. But yet you're still posting the video. Like, you still made it part of the UFC series and so on and so forth. So you're definitely benefiting off of this, like pumping up the match. I think, what was it, 223? So you're still kind of using this to your benefit. But, you can't say, oh, well, this is disgusting and we would never condone anything like this. Let's look at the tape again. Like, come on. So I'm not really into UFC like that, but this guy actually helped the league a lot. So shouts out to them for this. But if this was anybody else of color, people would be up in arms.
I'm just saying.
That. If this was Tiger Woods, you see, this is why we get Negroes on the greens.
To be fair, Tiger Woods is.
Yeah, well, yes. Be fair.
Okay.
All right, Crystal, who's your loser for this week?
My loser for this week is someone named Andrew Jackson Higdon III.
Okay.
He's a 66-year-old roofer from Louisiana. And he decided to take Petty to new heights because he's facing misdemeanor charges after repossessing a roof because he never got his money.
He repossessed a roof.
According to the arrest warrant, the victim tried to make partial payments, but the roofer wanted all his money at once. He threatened to take a roof back if he didn't get the amount in full, and it looks like he stayed true to his word. He was charged with simple criminal damage to property and criminal trespassing. He was freed after posting $4,500 bond.
You know what? He sounds like a winner to me. I'm
not mad at
I'm not mad at him.
So you mean to tell me? I mean, obviously, he just comes and he just takes the roof and goes.
Where were the people in the house when it's? I hope they weren't sleeping. They were sleeping.
It don't say what I'm telling y'all.
But if they were sleeping, hopefully they weren't at the house. Because imagine you waking up and the roof is gone. Like, come on.
Yo.
And who tries a layaway plan off of roofs? Like, this is crazy.
Do you imagine?
Yo, one of those yawns too.
Yeah. Like, honey, it's raining right here. And then there's a little hole right here. And all of a sudden you come back 3 weeks later and you have like no roof.
Yeah.
Imagine
that'll
if he
teach them.
sneaked and did it. Like, maybe did 4 panels a day.
But hold up. So wait a minute. But didn't he ask for a deposit before he installed the roof for them?
Apparently, I don't know because it doesn't say, but it says that he wanted partial payments. And he wanted his money in full. He wasn't trying to take them partial payments. So he took his work
Then you
back.
shouldn't have.
That's hard out here,
That's like when you go to the nail salon and you don't like it and they shave it all off, okay?
What?
Yeah,
Really?
you can't walk out of here with your nails done.
Oh, but you still don't pay though.
Yeah, well, you didn't pay. You just wasted your whole time in this too.
Wow, that's cruel.
I hope we've all learned something from this. Yes.
We've learned so much. Oh, my God. My loser for this week goes out to the fake wokes out there. Obviously, for the Drake slander. Listen, nobody's trying to knock any... Drake's not out here saying to himself, how can I shit on the black woman today? I get it. Let me get at Cardi B for her record release. It's ridiculous, man. And then it goes back to this whole Bruno Mars debate we were talking about a couple weeks ago. This idea like, find a real cause. Please, find a real cause. We have legitimate police brutality. We have the situation in Sacramento. I don't know if we want to delve into the situation that happened in Brooklyn. Some of you do, some of you don't. That's fine by me. But no, there's legitimate reasons to really be woke out there for a real cause. And, this attack on, or these fake stories of, this person's doing this to black women because he hates black. Stop. It's enough, man. It's stupid. Please find a better cause, all right? And what was that story you were talking about with people were getting on Gary Owens and Michael Rappaport because, they support black culture, and now black women don't feel like, they don't show enough love to...
No. With Rappaport, he got into it with Kenya Moore.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're right. Yes.
And to be fair, she flamed him.
Okay.
She flamed the shit out of him, right?
But what does that have to do with him being white or her being white?
Hear me out. So afterwards, he, upon getting flamed or whatever, for his comeback, he put up a picture of a gorilla and her, saying that she looked like the gorilla. Now my thing is this: if you rock with black culture, you don't even have to be black. If you rock with black culture, one of the lines you don't cross is the whole monkey gorilla thing. He knows better than that. So that's why he got flamed. Gary Owens got flamed because they feel that he was shitting on Monique, which I totally
Everybody
agree
has
with.
though.
I've shitted on Monique
Everybody
as well.
has,
I'd
right.
be right there next to Gary shitting on Monique.
Right.
And then Gary got into it with Michael Blackston recently. They're going
Right.
back
Well,
and forth.
the Gary Owens ones, I like.
Gary Owens, he's cool.
Fun, yeah.
Rappaport is out of line.
That was
He took
that
2
was-
L's. He was bitter about the L he took on TV.
Right.
And then he tried to come back, and the comeback was bad. You should
Right.
just-
Okay, so everything I just said, forget.
Thank you. I'm glad we
You
put this
just
in
shared the whole
perspective
story
here.
on your own. It's okay.
No. In all that, no, I saw the story. I said, even after reading the story, I'm just like, all right, man. Like, okay, it is what it is. Like this whole idea. All right, let's get rid of all white people who want to be part of the culture and be who actually appreciate it. Like, we have a bigger cause than just trying to get at them. Like it is what it is. All right, let's get out of here. Let's do our shout outs. Let's start off with Crystal.
Since there's no voice, yes.
Yeah, voice.
I want to shout out to EGL. I want to shout out to Big Zaddy, who's throwing a birthday party for me next week.
Oh man.
You good? You done?
Yep.
All right. So shout out to Sweet Mama as always. Thank you, Boris. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Okay. We got that right this week. We good. All right. We're back on the right path. We went to the car show yesterday. It was crazy. Y'all should go. Today's the last day, so y'all should definitely go if y'all got time. Check it out. It was wild fun. Shout out to the Voice who couldn't be here this week. We'll miss you. Well, we missed you rather today. And we'll hope to see you next week.
And your protein bottle.
Yes.
Yes.
And his lunchbox. Yes. Grown ass man with a thermos and shit. But anyway, yes, go ahead.
And also, what is this? What is this? Oh, they were at the spot, the Sweet Chicks. We'll talk over there. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the viewers. Shout out to the family. All the supporters. We appreciate you. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Voice, man. We'll see you next week. And Sunday morning breakfast. We are out of here. Peace.